Hey, what it do? What it do? It's been a few days, but I'm back in action. Starting at 4:20 on the dot. That's funny. That is funny. Back in action, y'all. So, not live. The market is already closed, but yo, Sean Carson, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping in. You just caught me at the beginning of the live. Yo, Sean Smith, thanks for coming through. Melvin 25, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Y'all caught the beginning of the live, so I am still just getting set up. We got to read this disclaimer first, and then after reading the disclaimer, we can jump into what it is all about. But make sure, let me get my thing situated over here. Make sure I'm all set up. All kind of things be popping up whenever you want to get started. Damn. But yo, Tech, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. User 613-1226-171-294. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Still just trying to get the stuff popping on this end, but we're gonna do a couple of recaps on some trades, do some charting together, things like that. But y'all do me a favor, drop some likes on that live for your boy, please. Thank y'all for coming in right when I'm joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord Varus 21, thank you for coming through. Yo, Sheila Stevens, I see you. Thank you, thank you. Malk, thanks for joining. All right, so let me read this disclaimer really quick, y'all. Then we can jump into the trade recaps on the two trades, as well as some charting together. And of course, y'all know me. My content is all for the noobs, the beginners, the newbies. So here's my trade from today, 168 bucks. And then let me bring up the other one. This is my trade from yesterday, $221. So what's that? 380 some odd dollars in 2 days. I can't complain. David Copley, thanks for coming through. Just passing. Thank you. Ziona Mitchell, Ryan Jones. If you guys are rocking with me, just drop a like in the chat. So let me read this disclaimer and then we can get started. Yeah. So real quick, y'all, bear with me. Disclaimer, disclosure. Please note that the following is not legal advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, RG, thanks for joining. Marco, Nate Soto, Ronaldo, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so we knocked out the disclaimer, I should say. Like I said, this is my trade from earlier today. SPY puts 168 bucks. If you're new to my TikTok, I am not a greedy trader. I'm very conservative. All I need is anywhere from 3 to 5% on what I'm trading with, and I'm good. So $168 today. And then yesterday was $221, 4.43%. So 4.5%. Like I said, my style is very conservative. I do scalping. I like to make me 3 to 5% if I can on a trade, and I keep it pushing. Pookie the Real, thanks for joining. Marco, Dixie DU, thank you, thank you. I see y'all. So tap in. David Hernando Porra, thank you for joining. All right, so I see everybody. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Like I said, my TikTok is all about the noobs and the beginners. So if you're new to trading, this is for you. So if you have any questions, if you've been interested in options trading, if you need help with candlesticks, support and resistance, trying to identify some type of strategy to start with, Lucky Brown 1616, thank you for the follow. That means a great deal. Thank you so much, Lucky Brown. Anybody that, even if you're just spending a few minutes with me, if you follow me, if you share the live, if you like the live, I can't express to y'all enough how much it means to me. It means a great deal. Wendy Serrano, thanks for joining. Yudit Myro, hey, Jesus got my back. Thanks for coming through. All right. So, like I said, if you are new to my TikTok, my content is all about helping new options traders learn the basics, the fundamentals in the beginning. Here's today's trade, $168 trading SPY puts. Let me go ahead and let's bring up today's chart on SPY. So that is what we're looking at right now. Now, if you're new to me, I like to trade on the 30-minute time frame. Lucky Brown says, I stopped trading. Now I'm back. I'm happy to have you back to the trading arena. Thank you. Welcome back, Lucky Brown. Uzi says, I'm new. First live I see. Awesome. So, Uzi, it sounds like Lucky Brown already has a little bit of experience, but anybody, including Lucky Brown and Uzi, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I want to answer and give y'all as much value as possible. This is for the beginners. This is for the noobs out there. Saint says, how do SPY contracts work? Can you explain? So that's kind of an open-ended question, Saint Muscle. But basically, SPY contracts work the same as any other options contract that you might trade. But what I like about SPY, what I prefer about SPY, is that there is little spread and high volume. So I'm glad you brought that up, Saint Muscle, because there is one thing that I would say about SPY contracts, Amazon, Apple, companies like that, because there's so much volume on those contracts that are being traded every day, all throughout the day, tens of thousands of contracts, the spreads are very little. Now, if you don't know what a spread is, that is the difference between how much your broker, like Robinhood, will say, hey, Curtis G has this contract for sale, right? For $100, we'll say, but you're looking to buy a contract, and the broker like Robinhood is going to put a little bit of a gap between how much I'm selling it for versus how much you're going to pay. So if I'm trying to sell it for 100, Robinhood might charge you $105. And then in that spread is where they kind of have room for liquidity, if you will. And I'm not going to get too much into liquidity, but because the spreads are a lot smaller on high volume contracts like SPY, Apple, Amazon, I like to trade those because you're not losing a lot of money. So let's take a look. All right, I want to make sure I'm representing everybody. The Midnight Poet says, can you explain basic option strategy? Yes. Uzi, thanks for the live. Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to continue to answer Saint Muscle's question about how do SPY contracts work. And what I'm focusing on, Saint Muscle, is the fact that there's so much volume on SPY contracts. So let me see if I can bring up my Robinhood without doxing myself and giving too much information. See if there's a way for me to log in real quick without y'all seeing all my stuff. Hopefully it won't get a little too crazy out here. Hold on, let's log into the Robinhood. Oscar says, what candles are these? Give me just a moment, Oscar. All right, so let me go back for Oscar really quick. Oscar, thanks for the question. Jay says you're using the strat. You know, I love the strat, Jay. I love the strat. Turn the cam, brethren. Day trader, set a photographer. I appreciate that. I'm loading up the screens. Let me make sure I talk to everybody. All right. So the Midnight Poet, I hope you're still on. I still see your question. Can you explain basic option strategy? I'll go over my strategy for you guys. Oscar says, what candles are these? So Oscar, what we see in front of us are candles on a 30-minute chart. I like to trade the 30-minute time frame. So each one of these candles represents 30 minutes of time. That's just my preference. I'm more of a scalper. Now, if you don't know what scalping is, this is for the noobs. Remember, this is for all the beginners. If you don't know what scalping is, in my own definition, a scalper is somebody who gets in and out of a trade in less than an hour. Typically, based on my stats and my data, the average winning trade for me is 10 minutes or less. I feel like I got a little bit of a lag going on here with my computer. And I wonder if that's because I got this older iMac that I'm working on and old baby's just slowing down. All right. So Oscar, I hope that answers your question, but if I didn't, let me know, give me a little bit of clarity. But these are the 30-minute time frame candlesticks. All right. Sean Pinkston says, or just skip my question entirely. Thanks. No, Sean, I didn't see your question. Sean, what's your question? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Sean, I'm scrolling through. I didn't see your question. I didn't see your question. It didn't pop up on my end. All right. All right. Saint says, is there a better time to trade SPY contracts? It depends on your trading style, you know. If you mean time of the day, I wouldn't say that, to be honest. Just from my own trading journal, there's opportunities that pop up all throughout the day, whether it's the morning, the middle, or the afternoon. Now, each part of the day behaves a little bit differently, right? So the beginning, when the market first opens, as we all know, when the market first opens, that first 30 minutes to an hour is extremely volatile. But if your strategy gives you some indication of which way that first hour is going to go, you can make money. Typically around the middle of the day, so 12 o'clock East Coast time, 9 o'clock in California. I'm in California, so I trade on the West Coast time frame. But typically, when it's 9 o'clock for me, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast, and that's lunchtime. And you'll notice a little bit of different activity around the middle of the day or around noon because the market makers, the big players, they typically are going to lunch, as they say. And then lastly, the last hour of the day is known as power hour. And that's usually when you see, as we can see right here, this last hour, strong direction. You usually see some very strong direction the last hour of the day when it comes to trading. Um, DHFDJJ says, show the Robinhood. I'll be right back there. Is there a better time to trade SPY contracts? What time frame are you used to swing trade? So for Dime Media, what time frame you use for swing trade? If I'm doing swing trading, which I'm getting myself more and more into, then I'm going to be looking at the daily time frame at a minimum, because obviously I'm going to be holding for a day and I want to see potentially what the market could do within days of time, you know? Obviously, if you're new and you don't know what swing trading is, in my definition, a swing trade is anything that you hold for more than a day. It could be 2, 3, 4 days. It could be a couple of weeks. It could even be a couple of months. That's swing trading, in my opinion. After 6 months up to a year, in my own opinion, you're getting into investing. All right, I want to make sure. Jay says the first hour is my bread and butter, especially opening gaps. Yes, sir. Shout out to Jay. I like that strategy. Shout out to you, bro. And that's the dope thing about trading. There's like an unlimited amount of ways that you could develop a strategy that works just for you, and you can make dough that way. So if you ever hear somebody talking trash about a strategy, just ignore them. Different things work for different people. I trade on the 30-minute time frame and I'm waiting for specific setups. All right, so I think it was somebody Pinkston said to ignore his question, but I didn't see their question. Uzi says, "Do you trade inside bar breakout?" Not quite. Somewhat similar, but not quite. All right, what time frame to use for swing trade? I hope I answered that question. Dime Media. It's good knowing the strat to better understand price action. That's right, Jay. I'm going back through. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody's question. And somebody kind of mentioned the strat earlier. So I keep the strat, which is these numbers that you see on the bottom of the candles, the 3222. For those of us that don't know, that's called the strat. And I keep them on my chart. Now, I definitely learned the strat, which helped me with my entries and exits, but I don't necessarily use it every day as much as I used to. But I still have a lot of love for the strat. Saint Muscle says, never understood how much does options contract actually cost. Can you maybe explain that? Yes. All right. So somebody was wanting me to go back to Robinhood. Let me go. It's kind of weird. Why is it looking weird? I never really get on Robinhood on the computer, y'all. But let me bring up SPY. Let's go over the cost of an options contract. All right, I gotta kind of shrink this down, of course, so y'all can see it the right way. All right, so what we see here is, oh my gosh, y'all bear with your boy. Let me fix it up, y'all. Y'all rock with me. Bear with me for a second. All right, so what we see is SPY. Obvious information right here, right? We see that it's at 485.78. It went up $1.43 today. And then in the after hours, it went up another 90 cents. Okay, so let's go look at some options contracts. I really need to get OBS Studio so I can get this screen right for y'all. But I appreciate every single one of y'all who rock with me in this time where I'm just getting this very basic studio setup. It means a lot to you, boy. Um, all right, so let's take a look at options contracts, because Saint Muscle is saying that they never understood how much contracts actually cost. So let's get into that. So over here, this is on the computer. It looks different on the phone, but we're looking at buying SPY contracts. And let's see if we can get the the options chain. Let's go here. And maybe I should have just focused on one. All right, so y'all don't understand how much it means to me that y'all rock with me, and I got this crazy setup right here trying to squeeze everything in on the camera. Rick Garcia, thanks for the live, bro. I appreciate you, man. Carlos Coy, thank you for the follow. Okay, so what we're looking at is the options chain for SPY. Over here on the left-hand side, we have what's known as the strike price. Remember, you guys, I know we can get into technicals, but I'm only going to use very, very basic language, jargon, and some very basic analogies to help us beginners get used to this. So your strike price is pretty much your goal price. Now, if you're buying a call right here where I'm circling on the screen, that means that you're anticipating that the price of the stock, in this case, we're talking about SPY, is going to go up. So your strike price is the goal. Yo, Shira, thanks for the follow. Big shout out to Shira. So your strike price is the goal of where you think SPY is going to go up to. All right. Now, let's get back to the cost of these. Let's bring it over here. So here we go. This is the ask price. So this is how much these contracts cost. Lord, I got to shrink this down even more. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me see how much I can shrink this down into one just to kind of get most of it on the screen. As a matter of fact, let me zoom out. Can I zoom out a little bit? There we go. We gotta use the technology. Okay. Maybe I can get more on the screen this way. All right. There we go. There we go, y'all. We doing it. Yo, Carlos Coy, you listen to SBM. All right, so here we go. Now, this is for, I believe, we're talking about Saint Muscle. Never understood how much. Saint, are you still there? Give me a heart, a like, or something, Saint, so I know that you're still here. I appreciate y'all liking the live. Thank you so much. But what we're talking about right now is understanding how much options contracts cost. Rob M, thanks for the follow. Okay, so right here, the ask price, this is the premium, or this is pretty much the cost. Let me keep it simple. Now, I know it's confusing because you might see that for this particular contract, it shows 85 cents. But remember, there are a lot of components when trading options that you have to multiply by 100. So when you see any costs, just throw two zeros on the back and move the decimal, kind of like school, right? When we talked about doing decimals in school. So if you see that it says 85 cents, that really means it costs $85. Let's scroll down. If you see that it costs $1.25, that really means it costs $125. So basically, when it comes to options contracts, because the contract itself represents an underlying bundle of 100 shares. One options contract represents 100 shares. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily buying 100 shares or selling 100 shares, but the contract, one at a time, symbolizes 100. So if you buy two options contracts, that symbolizes 200 shares. And because of that, that is the reason why you have to keep in mind to multiply this ask price by 100. So if you see down here an options contract that costs $2.40, if you wanted to buy one, it would cost you 240. Saint Muscle, I hope that kind of gives a little clarity, but if not, we could continue to break it down. The Midnight Poet says, I've been trading 2 years and I'm a break-even trader. I have not really been profitable. Okay, the Midnight Poet, I got a question for you. I hope you don't mind that I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but do you keep a trading journal? Day trading cinematographer says better than most. Most stay in the red. That's very, very true. That's very true. So I'm glad we're all rocking together because we're here to support and encourage each other. So no matter where you're at in your journey, if you feel like you want to pull out your hair, if you're feeling like, man, I'm never going to get this, if you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm only losing money, please do not give up. I'm begging you. I'm here to encourage you. Do not give up. But the number one thing you want to do is keep a very, very, very robust trading journal. And you need to log all kinds of things. What were your emotions when you were in that trade? What was going on in your mind? What was going on around you? What were some of the things that you did good? What were some of the things that you feel like you could improve upon? When you took a loss, was it a simple loss as a result of just sticking to your trading plan and risk management? Or was it a controllable loss, which is a bad loss? Was it because you lost control? Did you lose control of your emotions? All right. So the Midnight Poet says, I try to, but I'm bad at recording trades. I was just thinking about this earlier. My biggest losses were due to greed. Jay, I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. I'm not fronting. I'm not gonna try to pretend that I'm an expert. I'm not gonna try to pretend that I'm the best in the world. My goal is to be completely transparent with all of you so that you can either at a minimum learn from my mistakes and shorten your learning curve, or hopefully become really profitable. But I'm not ever going to front to y'all and make it seem like I'm the number one. I never make mistakes. I only call out winners. No, let me show you guys. Day trading cinematographer says tracking trades is such a helpful visual. That's right. Do SPY contracts have any restrictions on trading like day trade laws? So yeah, Saint Muscle, they do. There are some components and things like that you do have to keep in mind. So there is the pattern day trading rule, and it kind of sounds like you're a bit familiar with that. And it applies to contracts as well, options contracts as well. So for most brokers, or really all of them, if they're following US laws, you have to have at minimum $25,000 in your brokerage account to remove day trading restrictions. Because as we all know, You get 3-day trades before you become designated as a pattern day trader. So the way that you get around that, though, is if you convert your account to what's known as a cash account. So if you go to your broker, Robinhood, Fidelity, Webull, Thinkorswim, whatever the case may be, and say, hey, I want my account to be a cash account, meaning I'm only going to trade based on the settled funds that I put into my account that have been verified. When you do that, you no longer are subject to those day trading restrictions. You can trade as much as you can up to the amount of money that you have in your account. So let me give you an example. And this is with options and this is with stocks. Let's say you have $10,000 in your trading account and you have a cash account. And let's say you do one trade for 3,000. That 3,000 now is put on hold. You bought and you sold, right? So now you have $7,000 left. Let's say you do another trade for 3,000. That second trade is put over here and those funds are on hold. So now you have $4,000 left. You can do two $2,000 trades. You can do four $1,000 trades. You can do 8 $500 trades, whatever it is that equals up to that $4,000. But you can do more than 3 when you convert your account to a cash account. All right, let me make sure I'm addressing everybody's. Let me make sure I'm addressing everybody's questions. Day trading cinematographer says tracking trades is such a helpful visual. That's right. So I'm going to show you guys my trading journal. I have 2 trading journals that I use, especially if you have trouble recording your trading journal or recording all of your trades, because I know it's a psychological thing, right? It feels good to log your winning trades, but it doesn't feel good to log your losing ones. So a platform that I use is called TradeZella that hooks right up to your brokerage that you can use for trades. And then I also keep a manual Excel sheet. So I'm going to show you guys both of those in just a minute. Yo, shout out to Mocha Ray. She says PIU for the win again, Passive Income University. So that is the name of my Discord. That's the name of my community. Let me make sure I'm trying to make sure I show love to everybody. The Midnight Poet says, is there any good tracking software? So that's what I'm talking about, Midnight Poet. There's one called TradeZella. Lockett says, Ivy puts tomorrow. Saint Muscle, thanks for the info. I have to did, but really liked all this information. Shout out to you. Thank you, Saint Muscle. I appreciate you. All right, I want to make sure I'm addressing everybody. I got a question from Whit Wills. What's your 30-day P&L? Let me show you right now. Give me just a moment. Give me just a moment. All right, so we'll just look at the month of, let's look at the month of, this is my trading journal that I do manually on Excel. Like I said, y'all forgive me. I gotta shrink it down so y'all can see most of it, of all of it. But we'll just look at the month of, because we're 23 days into January. So right now, I'm pretty much at break even. After all my trades, I am up $62.76. But we talked about losing control. And this is where I lost control right here. These 2 trades is where I lost control. And I put this right in my trading journal. This is real live. I'm showing you guys. Oh, I got to move it over. My bad. I had greed. At this moment in time, I should have been trading. This was on January 19th. This just happened on Friday. I had a couple of trades. I was break even for the day, but I thought, you know what? Actually, I wasn't even break even. I think I was up a little bit, but I thought to myself, you know what? I could get in there, and I broke my trading rules because my trading rules say I should only take 2 trades a day. I let my emotions get the best of me, and that's what happened. So I lost all of my gains. Learn from me, y'all. I lost my entire gains for the month of January. I was up about $1,200. I lost it all from these 2 trades right here because I let my emotions get the best of me. So no matter if we talk about indicators and strategy and all that kind of stuff, I can tell you without a shadow of my doubt, the number one skill that's going to make you profitable in trading is control of your psychology and control of your emotions. Learn from me. And I'm not embarrassed. One thing I'm proud of is that I'm completely transparent, showing you guys my numbers, showing everything like that. 2 trades in one day wiped out all of my gains for the month. I was up 1,200. Here I am now fledgling to get back into break-even profit. So my number one thing is, yo, thank you for the follow. Day trading cinematographer. I appreciate that. A Quiet Place for Souls says facts. Jay says, I'm telling you, bro, we're our worst enemies when trading. Exactly. Nothing that happened to me this month was a result of the market going crazy or doing something that I didn't necessarily come up with my analysis. Every loss that I've had this month in January, and really since I really started keeping a trading journal, I've looked back and I can tell is because I lost control. I lost control of my emotions and my psychology. All right. So we've got Lockett says IVS puts tomorrow. Is that the ticker symbol, Lockett? Is that the ticker symbol IVS? Should I be looking at that? All right. Parisa's in the building. Big shout out to Parisa. I hope you're still on. Big shout out to Parisa. Thank you. Terrell, thank you for joining. Andre Justice, thank you for joining. The question it all says greed gets me too often. Look at my trading journal, y'all. Greed all through the trading journal. Greed. So it wasn't a matter of not having the skill set. It wasn't a matter of not being able to do analysis. In hindsight, it may seem confusing right now to do technical analysis for your trading, but you're going to realize pretty soon that the technical analysis is easy, especially when you do a strategy and you backtest it. The number one thing that's going to trip you up is your psychology. Hyper says full porting calls on Netflix earnings tomorrow. Hyper, don't do it. Hyper, don't do it. Hyper, no, don't full port. Can we do a half port? Can we do a half port? Jay says all my biggest losses came from being greedy. I aim for 2% of portfolio every day. It was already up. Exactly. So, like I said, I don't have any problem showing. I know somebody was asking for my 30-day. Here's where I'm at for the month of January. I was up $1,200. I don't have any problem being completely transparent with y'all. You get burned enough in this game for not following your own rules until the pain of those losses corrects your behavior. And you learn that in the book Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. All right, Rosendo, thanks for joining. But with that being said, we could take a look at today's trades unless we got any other questions. Did I address everybody? Did I miss anybody? Day trading cinematographer says you have a set amount / range that you risk. Yes, I do. And as a matter of fact, you're going to make fun of me for this too. Jay, thanks for the follow, bro. Appreciate that. Madalena Chronicles, thanks for coming through. So for me, and everybody makes fun of me, everybody cracks jokes on me because I trade with about $5,000 a trade. And like I said earlier, I aim for 3 to 5% off of that $5,000. Now, the number one thing that I hear that people tell me is I'm risking way too much for such a little amount of reward. And to a degree, I agree with that. But at the same time, my trading strategy isn't to get a home run every single time. My trading strategy is to get those base hits and let that money accumulate. Granted that I stick with my psychology and control my emotions. As long as I control my emotions and my psychology, making $200 to $300 each day off of 5,000 is perfect and fine by me. I'm going to tell you guys something that one of my cousins told me that made the most sense. And this is like it plays into the way that I trade. And a lot of people make fun of me. A lot of people crack jokes on me. But he told me, he said, you know what, G? I wouldn't mind using $10,000 to make $1,000 profit or 10% profit. And when I heard that, it just clicked in my head. Just think about that. If you could have a nice average of whenever you took your trade, a nice setup, A+ setup, your rough average. That means win, lose, or draw. Some days you'll make a little more. Some days you'll make less. Some days you'll be break even. Some days you'll be flat or whatever the case may be. Some days you'll take a loss. But let's just say your rough average is $1,000 off of 10,000. I can't complain with that. Not at all. All right. The Midnight Poet says I trade with $200. Do you do a basic strategy? Now, Midnight Poet, are you trading options or are you trading the stock straight up? And, I don't like that question about how much do you need to trade because you really can start with any amount of money. It does become more challenging, if you're looking for, tangible gains, the lower amount of money you have, you really have to be disciplined and have the wherewithal, but you really can start trading with anything. There's traders out there that I've seen that started the year off with $300 and now they're up to 32,000. But it does take an extreme amount of discipline and an extreme amount of skill. The Midnight Poet says, I'm looking to learn first. Perfect, bro. That's the best mentality to have. Yo, Tiff, thanks for joining. I see you. That's the perfect mentality to have. Now, there was somebody, day trading cinematographer says, I never make fun, just addicted to the industry. I like hearing everyone's approach. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Original Face Off says, I'm still trading. Oh, snap. This very next candle. Oh, man. I wonder how long my mic was off. How long could y'all tell that this mic right here to my computer was off? Because I'm also recording this on my computer, so it's probably gonna sound crazy or gnarly that it wasn't even on. Wow. Okay, but anyways, quick scalp on this momentum down, getting out near the support of yesterday's low, and then it bounced all the way up. All right, we trade different. I'm gonna follow you, bro. You cool for sure? Yes, yes. I'm gonna tap in with original face off. I'm gonna follow you too, bro. I appreciate that. It's all love, all love. We do trade different, and that's the beautiful thing about trading is that there's so many different strategies out there. All right, yo. Okay, now this was my trade yesterday on Alibaba, $221, 4.43%. Like I said, I go for base hits. I don't need a home run. If I can make a couple $100 each day, that's about $1,000 a week. It's all good as long as I'm keeping my emotions and my psychology in control, as y'all have seen from my trading journal already. So as long as I can keep that in control, then I'm a happy camper and I could just stack up the gains. Uh, Go to Marcus says, do you follow SAT SATY? No, I don't. I'm not too sure who that is. Tim Munn says, how much do you start with? Are you talking about in general? Are you saying, Tim, for a new trader? I want to make sure I answer your question as clearly as I can. Jeremy Jermaine Black says, what do you think SPY will do tomorrow after earnings? After whose earnings is tomorrow? Um, whose earnings are we talking about? Spirit. Oh, okay. I got you, Dream Goals. We're going to talk about Spirit Airlines, 221 on Baba, on the 221 Baba. Yeah, so on my average trade, for the most part, I trade with about 5K. I already know. I can hear you now. Everybody always makes fun of me. They say that I'm taking too much risk for such small little reward, and I can't agree with that. But this is my trading style, and I really do like it. All I need is about 3 to 5% each day on my trade, and I'm very happy. So this $221, let me move this up a little bit, was 4.43%, so 4.5%. In a matter of like 10 minutes, I cannot complain. So let's bring up Baba and let's check it out. Nana says, what do you see AMD doing? Dave Adames, do you own stocks or just trade options? Both. So I'm gonna make sure I tap in with everybody. Let me bring up Baba. After I go over my Baba trade, then we'll start looking at what everybody's talking about in the chat. AMD, we'll look at Tesla. I know somebody was talking about Spirit, dream goals to be accomplished. I haven't forgot about you, bro. I hope you're still in here. So we're gonna talk about trade, Spirit. We're gonna talk about all that. Let me just go over the Alibaba trade from yesterday, and we could talk about that right quick. So here's Alibaba from yesterday. Like I said, I keep that Sarah Strat Sniper 50% rule indicator on every day. We're looking at that 30-minute chart. Yo, Alicia, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So if you guys could just, do me a favor, drop some likes, drop some shares for your boy, and questions, especially. Don't worry about the haters, bro. Do you? Crypto stocks Forex. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. And I want everybody to keep that in mind, because in this arena, when it comes to trading, you'll hear a lot of commentary, a lot of people kind of like haters, or they'll just have something to say about your strategy, your style. No matter what it is, no matter what you got going on, there's always going to be somebody who says some kind of thing about your strategy. Original Face Off says, props to you. I appreciate that, my boy. Salute to you. All right, now we're looking at the Alibaba trade. So let me just break this down really quickly. After I go over Alibaba, we'll get into the ticker symbols that y'all want to take a look at. All right, so Alibaba was $221 on some calls right here that we can see. And let me make sure, because I think TradingView will tell me the time. I believe it was right here. Yep. Now, this was actually a bad trade. Let me tell y'all why. And this is what you're about to see is kind of like the epitome of my strategy, but it was still somewhat of a bad trade. But let me break it down, because people were asking me in the comments, what is your strategy? Dream Goal says, but your style isn't bad at all. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And that's what I like. I like everybody just sharing styles and everything like that. So we're using TradingView right now. And the really cool thing about TradingView, if you're new to it, is it has this function up here at the top called replay. So you can go back in time and replay how a stock did. So that's what we're about to do right now with Alibaba. So I'm going to turn on the replay function, and we'll go back in time to right here. Boom. All right, so now we just did some time traveling. And let me delete this into this little drawing right here, this little box that I drew. And this is going to give y'all basically the nuts and bolts of my overall strategy, if you will, just kind of what I look for. DC Daddy says, I'm weary of China. I think China is something that we always got to keep in mind, bro. It's always something that we got to keep in mind. Emin, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, bruh. Says, do you trade full time? I do not. I actually have a 9 to 5 gig that I'm trying to get out of in terms of getting my skill set. So to answer your question straight up, no, trading is not my full time gig. I do have a regular 9 to 5. My goal is to become consistently profitable enough so that I can leave the 9 to 5 and just trade full time. All right, you Rodriguez, thank you for the follow. Ahmed says, Nappy Head, I see you, player. Maybe they're saying a shout out to either me or somebody else. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're saying what's up to one of the homies. But all right. So here we are looking at Alibaba. Now we're back in time. We did some time traveling. This is what was yesterday. If y'all can see at the bottom of the screen where it's moving, January 22nd, Monday. This was the pre-market activity in orange. And then on the left-hand side in the shade of blue was the after hours activity after the market closed. Now, I don't necessarily trade the gap, but I do acknowledge the gap, if that makes sense. Eamon, thanks for the thanks for following, bro. I appreciate that. Eamon says, do you always have stop losses set? I always have a stop loss that I follow. Well, I can't say always, because if you just saw my trading journal, you saw that where I blew up earlier. But my general stop loss for myself, I do set one mentally. I don't put it into the shout out to Frank Trade, says that he made $90 profit for the day. Salute to you, bruh. All right, so but to Eamon, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, or Eamon. I don't set them in the broker or Robinhood or Webull or anything like that. I am somewhat of like a conspiracy theorist when there's this notion out there that they use stop loss hunt algorithms that will find where people set their stops and they move the price there. But I do have one in my mind when I do enter a trade. I do mentally spot out where I would, if the trade goes against me, where I should be getting out. All right. So we're looking at Alibaba. And remember, I like to trade on the 30-minute time frame. And the reason why, I don't think I gave y'all the reason why I like to trade on the 30-minute is because visually is not as noisy as the lower time frames, like the 15, the 10, the 5-minute, the 3-minute, and definitely not the 1 minute, right? But I do use those lower time frames at times to enter a trade. Now, I don't show them right now because it's already kind of hard for me to get the visuals right just with this setup right here. But I do will lean on them. But for the most part, I use the 30-minute time frame because psychologically for me and the way my brain works is not as noisy, and I can get a better peg on the trend of the market for the day. I remember when I really first started out, I was really pegged on like the 5-minute and the 15-minute, and it was just so noisy to me. I was always getting shook out of trades. So when I got to the 30-minute, I noticed that I performed a lot better and my confidence was a lot stronger. So that's why I trade on the 30-minute. But I do use the lower time frames from time to time to get in. Okay, I keep feeling like I get off track. So for all of y'all that are rocking with me, all 90 of y'all, I appreciate that. DC Daddy looks like someone big bought it up and then sold. Yes, it does look like that with Alibaba, if that's what you're talking about. Comano, thank you for the follow. All right, y'all. So let me get to the punchline because I know y'all being patient with me, but let me break it down. So here's was yesterday's activity on the left-hand side. And then in the blue, we had the trading activity that was in the after hours after the market closed. And then we have this crazy gap down. Now, when I see gaps like this, if any of us are familiar or if we know of the gap fill strategy, we know that at some point, the price of a stock will attempt to close this gap. So what I like to do now, there's two ways, right? There's two ways that you could kind of do gap fills, in my opinion. And I'm going to kind of splinter off. So please, y'all, I'm trying to throw out as much of my psychology as I possibly can. And I know it seems like I'm kind of trailing off, but I want to give you as much value as possible to walk through all the things that play out in my mind. So when it comes to the gap fill, there's kind of two ways that you can at least acknowledge it. not necessarily play it. We're going to start from the beginning, acknowledge it. And what I'm getting into is there are a lot of top tier traders that when I talk to them, they say they don't care about the pre-market or after hours activity at all. They don't even have it on their chart. You know, on TradingView, you could turn this off. So if you don't want to see the extended hours trading, which happens when the market is closed, you could turn it off. And there are a lot of traders out there that, in my opinion, they're top tier traders. They tell me, gee, I don't even use that. I don't even care about this. Now, me personally, because we are operating in an arena where data and information is king, if there is available data, I like to use it. I like to acknowledge it. If I see there's available data, why not? H.A. Wood Metal Fabrications. H.A. Wood Metal Fabrications. Thank you for the follow. Dream Gold says, I think you should definitely pay attention to pre-market and aftermarket. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. And I'm not knocking anybody who doesn't. If you don't pay attention, if you don't include it in your trading analysis, I'm not knocking you. Like I said at the beginning, you got to do the number one thing that works for you. It's just that for me, I look at it like this. This is available information to help me get an idea of what the market is doing, and I'll use it because the number one thing that we need in trading is information and data. So what I do is, and the reason why I was getting into that little diatribe, if you will, is because you could either mark the gap from when the market closed or the gap from when it happened in the after hours trading. I usually mark it when it happens in the after hours trading. So what we saw was when the trading stopped the day before, which would have been, I guess, Friday, we had this gap down Friday going into Monday, right here in this white rectangle that I am drawing. So now that's one thing that my mind is keeping in my head is that at some point, Alibaba is going to try to close this gap that we see here, this gap that we just drew. All right. So we got this gap from the after hours on the 19th and going into Monday, the 22nd. So there was a gap down from Friday to Monday. That's the first thing that I'm looking at is that we have this gap down. And now I want to see some indication that price is going to try to close this gap. So now we're using the replay method on TradingView. So we're going to kind of bring this up candle to candle. So we'll play the next candle. I'm trying to look past the phone, y'all. And if you can see, we're still in the pre-market. There was a bearish candle that just appeared. Now the market's open and we've got this bullish candle that looks like it's like a mix between bullish engulfing that bounced off. Look at this. Look what I told y'all. What did I say? That support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. But even though, you know, that wasn't necessarily an example of that right now, using the Sarah Strat Sniper 50% rule, which marked out yesterday's low, even though price dipped out a little bit below it because of the opening market volatility, we can almost say that this was still a level of support, yesterday's low. And then we had this kind of hammer slash bullish engulfing, if you will, that appeared. Now, to me, this is a strong indication of bullish sentiment or momentum. Just those two things there, that we have this gap where price is going to try to go up and fill. And we've got this candlestick that formed on the first 30 minutes of the day. And then what I didn't really talk about much, but I also do a little wedge or a price channel. And it kind of came down to this green line almost. There's a little bit of space, a little bit of distance to travel, but we see that there was basically some type of like bouncing going on off of the low in this wedge, this price channel. Palantir, Cup, and Handle bet the whole account. Midnight says I use them to help mark up my charts. Pre-market is definitely needed. Man, gap days be yep, that's right. Original face off. Dream Goal says you may miss something if you don't. I want to make sure I'm getting all the comments. Dream Goal says I'm still trying to figure out if pre-market and aftermarket gap fills count or not. Same. I will say this though. I think you shouldn't mix them together. Like if you're going to chart out the pre-market aftermarket gaps and then be consistent with it. If you're going to only chart out the gaps that happen when the actual market is open, like we could see here on Friday versus where the market opened today, then be consistent with that. I will say that. So to your point, I don't know if they count or they don't count, but what I will say with a high level of confidence is pick one and make sure you stick with it and be consistent with it. DC Daddy says Bible fundamentals are not good. I agree. That's why I'm trading it. And if somebody did ask me if I only trade options or if I have an investing portfolio, that was a long time ago. It just popped in my head. I have both. I have the trading that I do daily, and then I take profits and put it into my long-term portfolio. And that's the goal of my community, Passive Income University, to help you learn something new, whether it's trading or getting into real estate or whatever the case may be, using that extra money and taking that extra money to build yourself a passive income portfolio. That's the whole shebang for me. That's the whole shebang. So for me, I take profits from trading, put them into my long-term portfolio, and I am what's known as a dividend investor. So I primarily like to invest in companies that pay dividends. But back to Baba, because I know we've gotten away from this so many times. Gosh, but I just appreciate y'all rocking with me. Okay, so we got a gap down. There's one indication that price may try to fill the gap to the upside. So that's one sign of upside potential. Then we have this somewhat of a bounce off of the previous day low. So that's another sign of upside potential. Then the way that this candle formed is somewhat of upside potential. So for me, to me, this was a strong enough signal to enter calls. Now I'm going to show y'all because what happened with the next candle, even though the next candle ended red, I was still profitable because I wasn't greedy. Now I'm going to show y'all a little bit of what I do. And this is probably not no whoop la magic or, he's not showing anything new, but I am just sharing it with y'all. So let's play the next candle that I did get in on. So here's the next candle. Can I go back on that? That showed perfectly. Let me show y'all. Look at this. Let me bring this back over here. We got that bullish candle right here, right? Now, pay close attention. MoneyWire says difference between USA stock market and China is China courts don't care about getting your money. MoneyWire says CK money in the market. Yep, that's right. User 31187. I take after hours into account, but I take every day as a new day with pre-market. Depends on the market. That's right. Very versatile and dynamic approach. I like that. I like that. Now, I want everybody to do me a favor right now. Pay close attention to what's going to happen when this next candle pops up. And this is how I was able to be profitable, even though the candle ended bearish. I'm not trying to act like it's a woo magic, but I just want to show you right now. Look at this very next candle that pops up. Boom, bow, it shoots up right there. So what I do on my strategy is I like to wait for some pullback. And I know that's probably, duh for some people, but for the beginners out there, that's what I like to do. If there's a candle that I'm going to enter in on, I always wait for a little bit of pullback and then I jump in. And that's what we saw. So even though I got calls on this candle right here, I jumped in on the pullback. And then when it came up, I was still able to get some of that upwards move and then become profitable in getting out on that scalp. And this is that 221 Alibaba calls that I did on that candle. So that's how that worked out. Now we can continue and see what happened with the next candle, which was back bearish or a little bit of bullishness. And then we're working our way up. We're trying to get into that gap. It's trying to. And then boom, we hit the 50%. Look at that. We straight up hit that 50% on Sarah Strat Sniper's indicator. We went straight to that 50% marker. So one thing that I like about it, using the Sarah Strat Sniper 50% rule, this indicator, is that each day it acknowledges the high, the low, and the 50%, because on a daily basis, those become areas of support and resistance. Just like the user 31187 said, I take after hours into account, but I take every day as a new day with pre-market. Depends on the market. And that's what I like about the Sarah Strat Sniper indicator. Each day is showing you and acknowledging to you where support and resistance could be based off the previous day's high and low. And what we saw right here with that 50%, look, this candle stopped right there. Boom. Now let's see how it continued to play out, because I could have stayed in there depending on your risk tolerance, but I don't need to be greedy. That's why I was able to get my 200 and bounce. And this is what we were talking about earlier too. Who was it? Who's that's still in that was talking about letting winners run? Original Face Off says you buy in the money or out of the money. I try to get it as close to the money as I possibly can, without going over my 5K per trade. So for me, one of my hard rules that I really don't break is I don't trade more than 5K per trade. So I try to whatever I can get as close to the money without going over the 5K with the number of contracts that I get. That's how it works out for me. Day trading cinematographer. Times for throwing me off. I forgot you're on Pacific. Yes, I always have to remind everybody. So that's my fault, bro. That's my fault. Day trading cinematographer. For those of you that are new and you're looking at my trading view times, I'm in California. And so I'm 3 hours ahead when it comes to the market. So the market opens up at 6:30 for me, and then it closes at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So if you're looking at my times on my chart and it looks off to you, that's because I'm in West Coast. I'm in California. All right. All right. Thank you everybody for joining. Eric says, bro, I was bugging out. Like, he's like, ain't no way I missed this thing. What the hell is going on? Bro said, my bad, bro. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. I always got to remember to make sure I say that throughout the live that I'm on California time. I know people are like, ain't no way how did this happen at 10:30? There's no way. Dream Goal says you should consider trading CMG with your trading style, and you would definitely gain higher percentages. Okay. Okay. CMG, is that a ticker or is that what's that? Help me out, Dream Goals. Was that enough on the Alibaba trade? Did I break that down enough for everybody, or is there any questions that I can answer? Boom, we see right here, it still breaks through. So I could have let my winners run. If you were on the live with me earlier, there was somebody that was talking about getting out of our comfort zone and letting winners run. This would have been the perfect opportunity for that, for me to take some of the contracts off the table to get profit and then let the rest of them do their thing. All right, day trading for cinematographer says Eric 6:30 shooting up like that was crazy. Original Face Off says you trade zero dates. No, I do not. And yo, Red Cars, thank you for the follow. Red Cars, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all, thank y'all so much for the likes, man. I think this is the most likes I've ever gotten in the live. So you guys don't understand how much it means to me. Dream Goals, Chipotle Mexican Grill trades like a tech company. Bruh, let me tell you this. I've never thought about trading Chipotle, CMG, but I definitely have always considered investing in it. My only hesitancy is because I'm more of a dividend investor. I just like, I mean, for me, I just feel like if I'm going to invest in a company, you got to give me some type of kickback. That's why I love dividends. But I will say, I started watching Chipotle back in when the pandemic first happened. So back in 2020, and me and my girl were like, there's no way Chipotle cost this much. No, Chipotle cost that much. Like Chipotle's up there. Red Cars. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Um, so for anybody who's interested, just because we're gonna shout out with Dream Goals is talking about CMG. Let me I don't think I have a chart for it already. Just so y'all can see the pricing. That's what I need to do. I need to bring this chart over so we can take a look at the pricing. But let's see. Just so y'all can see like how crazy Chipotle trades. But I'm also going to use that Dream Goals as an opportunity because I talked about spreads earlier. So if you're new to trading, one thing that helps me determine what I'm going to trade is how wide the spreads are. If the spread is too wide, I won't trade it. And so we're going to get into that in a minute. This is still Baba. All right, let me go to CMG. All right. So we're gonna look at Chipotle Mexican Grill. Now, this is the 30-minute chart. Look at this crazy run up that it's had, like the market. But Chipotle is at $2,300 a share, y'all. Let me bring this over. Look at this. $2,300 a share. So if you hadn't looked at Chipotle, it is madness, but I love it. Now, what about Apple? Maluma, thank you for the reminder. Let me go check out Apple. Now, I will check out, but here's the thing, because Dream Goals is saying looks like a possible head and shoulders forming. On what time frame? I'm looking at the 30 right now. What time do you see the head and shoulders? What time frame, bro? The Midnight Poet says, "What the hell? Exactly. It needs to split." Says Red Cars. It's crazy, 2,300. But look at this. Let me go back to the daily chart. Hold on, because like I told y'all, I had started to look at Chipotle. I might even need to do a weekly chart. Let's look at the weekly, just really quick. I was looking at Chipotle back. Let me bring this up when the pandemic first started in 2020. Here we go. Here is March of 2020. Chipotle was at $830 a share. Look at this. This is the pandemic right here. Let me bring it over so we can see it with the pricing. All right, here's March of 2020 with Chipotle down here in this kind of like 600, 500, $600 range. Now, let's just go and look into the future. This is Chipotle today at $2,300. So just imagine if you got in on Chipotle, and I don't like to do the whole just imagine, but we all could see the run up. All right. Red Cars, I feel you. It needs to split for real. A split would be nice day trade on the daily. Yes. All right. Dream Goal says hour and the 15-minute on both. You seeing it on both, huh? Let me check out the hour. So what Dream Goals is talking about is the head and shoulders pattern for CMG on the hourly. And I think, oh shoot, where do we go? If you're, I could kind of see if this is what you're talking about right here, shoulder and a shoulder with the head. Is that what you're seeing? Do you have the pre-market activity on there too? The Midnight Poet says I would have been nervous and got out. LOL. That's crazy. Yeah. Um, but one thing that I'm glad Dream Goals brought up is Chipotle, because the last time I checked, Chipotle had some pretty crazy spreads. So this is for the new people out there. And this is one of the things that I take into consideration when it comes to what I'm going to trade, because there's only a handful of stocks that I trade that have enough volume and low enough spreads. So if you don't exactly know what the spreads are, it's basically the difference. Yo, Cameron Miller, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Big shout out to Cameron Miller. Thank you. Thank you. But let's go. Let's take a look. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I need to really fix this up. Okay. So over here, if you guys could see it, let me make it a little bit bigger. This is Robinhood. So here is the spread looking at SPY contracts. And we can see the spread is really $1. It's usually no more than $1 to $3 on spreads. So what that means is, for those of us that are new and don't know what spreads are, it's the difference in how much you pay to buy an options contract versus how much the seller collects. So for this particular contract, Robinhood is telling me that it's going to cost me $125, but the seller is going to get 124. So the spread is very, very low. It's very, very narrow. The spread is not wide, right? And the reason why that's important is, let's say I got into this trade right here where I paid 125 bucks and I immediately decided that I wanted to get out of the trade. Let's say I immediately decided that I wanted to get out. Let's just say, for the sake of this example, that SPY was flat. SPY didn't move at all. There was no volatility, no price movement. Let's just say I did an accident. I accidentally bought this for $125 and I immediately wanted to get out. In order for me to immediately get out, I would lose $1 because Robinhood is saying that the spread is $1. So when it's time for me to sell, I wouldn't be able to sell it for 125. I would have to sell it for 124. Yo, Agent 42K, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Prim Jalal says analysis on Marvel stock. In just a moment, we got a couple people that asked for Apple. Triple Monkey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So I'm glad that the bro Dream Goals brought out. Ken West says, what's a good spread then? So for me, this is a good spread. For my own rule of thumb. Now, everything is subjective to you. So I'm glad that you asked that question, Ken West. Thanks for she says, I'll follow you. Thank you, Sheesh. I appreciate that. So in my own opinion, for my trading style, what I'm comfortable with, a spread of $5 or less is good. Any spread over $5 is just a little too expensive for me. That's just me though. I'm not saying, if you find a company with spreads higher than that it's bad. It's all about your trading style, your risk tolerance, how you like to manage your trades. Me personally, I just like narrow spreads, high volume, because it gives me confidence that I'll be able to get in and out of the trades quickly. But Dream Goals brought up CMG, and I want to take a look at, because the last time I looked at Chipotle contracts, which was a long time ago, I noticed that the spreads were wide. I could be mistaken. Let's take a look. So we see here with SPY, the typical spreads is $1 to $3, which is perfect for me. And I say SPY is like the perfect thing to learn to trade on, because there's so much volume, there's so much activity. You could really test out a lot of different strategies. But let's go take a look at the spreads on Chipotle. All right, so here we go. Chipotle currently at $2,300 a share. Oh my gosh. And if we look up the last 5 years, it's had an 1,800% return, or is that right now? $1,800, 353% return. My bad, 353% return. Agent 42K says, so what about high volatility stocks like daily or multi-day runners? Radiation, is that radiations? I've lost so a decent amount because I don't understand how to trade with Robinhood. So we're gonna have to break that down for you. Is that radiations? I could barely see your name on here. Radiations 28. We're gonna have to break down Robinhood for you. Dream goals. They will look wide after hours, but not during the day for CMG. Are you sure, bro? Are you sure about that? Are you sure, bro? Dream goals. Are you sure? I wish the market was open right now so we could take a look. I wish the market was open so we could take a look, bro. Agent 42K says, tell him no options for 6 months. Would you do meta? Jerry Frias, let me check that out. Dream Gold says, yeah, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. All right. So we're gonna take it with a grain of salt. The bro Dream Goals is saying, um, because it's after hours, it's gonna look wide. But let's just take a look. Let's take a look at CMG. So we just saw SPY, right? We saw SPY has spreads of about $1 to $3, which is what I really like. Just more comfortable for me. But let's take a look. All right, so here we go. Here are the spreads. Like we said, Dream Gold said that because this is after hours, it's wide. But what we see here is a $200 spread. So let's just say you got into a trade. If you bought one contract for Chipotle costing 1,600 bucks, and let's just say immediately you wanted to get out of this trade immediately, meaning that you wanted to execute faster, because you do have the ability to kind of dictate how much you want to sell your options for, especially like on Robinhood. But Robinhood is going to tell you, depending on what you set your price at, there's a low likelihood, a medium likelihood, and a high likelihood that your order might get executed. So this is why spreads are important to me. So what this is telling us is, if you were to buy this options contract for Chipotle, it would cost you 1,600. And let's just say you immediately wanted to get out, like quickly have it sold, you would lose $200 because the spread is $200 ride. The bid is 1,400, the ask is 16. So people bidding, basically like an auction. People say, hey, I'll buy it, I'll buy it. They're saying people can buy it for 1,400. Even though, my bad, I'm kind of flipping it up because now we're the seller. You can sell it for 1,400 even though you bought it for 16. That's because the spread is so wide. So that's kind of the thing for me. Radiation says SPY is going to dump tomorrow. David Dames, thanks for the follow. Maluma, follow. Thank you. Did you do Apple? Let me do Apple for Maluma because Maluma has been super patient and I appreciate that, bro. Let's take a look at Apple. So I'm going to break down. Is there any specific questions that you have about Apple, Maluma? I'm going to just do an analysis. If you don't have any, please drop your questions. Maluma, drop your questions in there. Catching a $50 move on CMG usually nets me 100%. So I would care about the, yo, I love it. I love it. Thanks for breaking that down. I want everybody to pay attention to what Dream Goal says. Dream Goal says catching a $50 move on CMG usually nets 100%. So meaning that 1,600 turned into 3,200 for him. So he doesn't care about the $200 difference in the spread. And that's a great point to make because that's one of the things that I really didn't consider when I looked at the spreads for CMG. I didn't really realize that it moved like a tech stock. So once again, I got to salute Dream Goals because that's a different perspective. And that's what this is about. This is why you have conversations with people and you don't come in with negativity. You don't come in being a hater or nothing like that. Hear people out and hear what they're trying to tell you. Hear what they're trying to tell you right now, because I never considered that, right? I never considered that Chipotle moves like a tech stock. And had I had that in my mind, like an Apple, a Google, a Microsoft, then I would have probably thought differently when it comes to trading the options. And so this is why it's good to have a nice open dialogue and environment that's really chill to talk to people and chop it up. So big shout out again to Dream Goals. All right. Nez T, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Kaka says I have $200 Apple calls, expires the 26th. Opinions. So Maluma and Kaka, we're going to take a look. Universal, thank you for the follow. And then Jerry says Meta. So we're going to do Apple and Meta. Let me actually have them lined up. That's what I'll do. I'll have them lined up in the tabs so I know which one to do next. There we go. There we go. I'm going to have the things lined up in the tabs so we know which ones to do next. Thanks for joining. Oh, Red Car says CLH. Let me throw that on here. I got you. So we got Meta, we got Apple. Let me throw up CELH. I believe is that Celsius? Um, CELH for Rec Cars. That's what I'm gonna do, so I know which ones I'm supposed to talk about. This is Apple right here. We're gonna break it down because I know a few of us, like Maluma, have been asking, and they've been very patient. Then we'll get into Meta, and then we're gonna get into CELH. Let me bring that up. It is Celsius. Yep, yep, yep. Yo, thanks for the likes, y'all. This has probably been my #1 most liked live I've ever done. Dream goals. Don't forget, I want to hear what you think about Spirit Airlines. Ah, bro, thank you for a reminder. Let me throw Spirit up here. We got some things to talk about. And we're just talking about trading, right? We're not talking about investing long term for Spirit, right? Dream goals. Revolver YT, thanks for the follow. All right, where's Spirit at? All right, there's Spirit Airlines. Wow, look at that. Y'all saw that drop. I think this is what everybody was talking about a few days ago. Look at Spirit. Look at Spirit just drop like that. All right, let's go to Apple. Now let me scroll up because somebody said they had some Apple calls for. All right, so Kaka says I have $200 Apple calls expiring on the 26th. Lord have mercy. Somebody asked me if I do 0 dates. I do not do 0 dates. At a minimum, I like to try to get my contracts with the Friday expiration. So if it's like Monday, I'll get contracts that expire that Friday. Once we get to about Wednesday, like the middle of the week, I look for options contracts that expire the next week. So overall, I like to give myself 5 business days. I like to get 5 business days on my contracts. Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate everybody who's in the live right now. A lot of y'all been rocking with me for a minute during this whole live, and it means a great deal to me. It means a whole lot. So I got to figure out ways that I can start giving gifts and things like that. The only thing I can say is if you do join my community, I do Cash App giveaways and things like that. My goal is to do $1,000 giveaways for this year. Last year I did $500 giveaways. This year I want to do $1,000 giveaways. So I'm not trying to. Dennis J said thoughts on Luke Belmar. That's kind of random. Even with Spy, well, what question is that? Dream goals. Okay, Maluma and Kaka. Let me talk to y'all because y'all been patient. So we're looking at Apple. Now, the thing about Apple is it is a part of the S&P 500, like Microsoft, Google. So it's going to kind of move kind of like SPY unless there's a catalyst, earnings or something specifically happen with Apple, like some type of news that'll make it move differently. But just on a general database, on a general day-to-day basis, Apple will move like the other big market players, like Google, like Microsoft, like SPY. But Kaka was saying that they have $200 Apple calls expiring. Well, 200 is way up here. And you have to look at what's the daily. So for beginners, one concept that you want to familiarize yourself is the daily range that a stock or ticker symbol moves, right? Like how many dollars on average does a ticker symbol move in a day? We can go back to what Dream Goals was saying, right? If CMG moves like a tech company, meaning that it moves a lot of dollars in one day, your contracts will move a lot of money in one day. So the first thing you got to be asking yourself, if you're looking for your contracts or the price to get close to your contracts, write this down if you're new, is what's the daily range that a stock will move on a day? The Midnight Poet says, I couldn't do a week out on SPY. Let me know why, bro. User 31187 says 0 DTE can't get rough if you're wrong on the move. I play them on QQQ and SPY. I know there's people out there like user 31187 that they kill it when it comes to those 0 dates. They just kind of shook me out one time and I was like, you know what am I doing over here? Let me stick to my lane. All right. It looks like we got a little bit. You see how there's some price consolidation. Remember, we're looking at a 30-minute chart, so we might want to change the chart to see if there's a broader formation that's happening, a broader move. But just doing some quick analysis, it's appearing that Apple is reaching. My bad, y'all. I gotta kind of hook this up so I can do the charting with you. Okay, let me move this over here. Perfect, perfect. So I'm seeing a little bit of consolidation / resistance from Apple trying to break through. Now, one thing that I didn't say earlier is I know most of us, the general way that we learn about support and resistance is to find a price point and draw a line either for your support or your resistance. And one thing that I want to encourage you to do that's really helped me is to draw your resistance as an area. To draw your resistance as an area, because a lot of times price will get into a general area before it either rejects or supports. So what I would kind of do is I would say, oh Lord, let me get rid of this. All right, so just off eyeballing it, trying to make it quick, I would say this would be like the general area of resistance for Apple right here, which is about this 195.14 level where it's currently at, right? So that's the first thing that my mind is kind of seeing. My eyes are kind of seeing. We've got some strong bullishness, but it's hitting this resistance, and that's obvious. That is obvious. See, I have this. I don't know what this big orange rectangle I made was. All right, this might have been an area of support that I drew a while ago. Looking at Apple, let me just look at it quick just to make sure I don't recognize anything. But I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete this one too. All right, so what I would need to see is a break above next Roaring Kitty. Because SPY is way more profitable if you catch your move on same day expiration, $1 move nets 150%. Oh, on them 0 dates. Them 0 dates. If you catch that right move. Um so here's the thing, and I don't want to speak too much about like what ifs or magical scenarios, but I do think that we're in a good space for a little bit more bullishness in the long run. Now, for your contracts expiring this Friday, I would be very leery if you get into profit. You know, like I said, I'm a conservative trader. I would say take that profit. But going into like February, March, potentially with rates possibly being reduced and things like that, I do think that we might have a little bit more bullish momentum, if you will. Now, it doesn't mean that we might not have some type of pullback in the very near future within the next week or 2 or 3 weeks. So I hope this is kind of answering some questions for Maluma and Kaka. When it comes to Apple, and it all depends. So we're just going to use Kaka's example because they're the one that has the $200 calls that are going to be expiring on Friday. And that's a little bit of a ways away for Apple. Not to say that it can't happen, but we're talking about $5 within the next couple of days. When we saw here on Monday, Apple moved from 192.30 all the way up to, let's say the high of the day was 195. So $3.50. It's possible. It's possible that Apple could get up there. I would just be concerned because we just had this big run up in the market, and I'm somewhat expecting a little bit of a retracement or a pullback. So if you're in Apple calls and if you're in profit now, just me being a conservative trader, I might consider taking some profit off of the table. Whether you take all of your contracts off and you or if you just let a few of them run. But what we would also need to see is a break above this area, at least that I marked out in the immediate past 2 days, a break above this area for it to really run up. And I might be wrong about that. Let me see, because here, back here, we're looking at a 30-minute chart. We might have some more resistance. And this is where we mark resistance. Oh, I don't have it in the camera. Right here, we might get a little resistance. And we're looking back at, this is December. This is late December, December 22nd. So I'm seeing if we break in terms of breaking resistance, we would need to break around this area, which is what we marked out. So if we break above this 195.50 area to be safe, then I could see Apple running up. I could see Apple running up if we break above it. Now let's go back over to that resistance area that we drew, which is up to, we'll say a little bit below, but I would say anything above this. Maluma, Kaka, are y'all still there? Maluma and Kaka, the real plush beauty. Thank you for the follow. The Midnight Poet, thank you for all the likes, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think this might have been the number one live, the most like live I've ever done. User 31187 says going to need the market help to get that move higher is some good news. I kind of feel you on that. Now, there was somebody the other day that was like, they were talking about something, and I was saying, I don't know. And it happened the next day. So you never know. You never know. But what I would say is in this moment, based off my analysis, and I could be wrong. I want to give me feedback. What do you all see? I could be wrong, but in this moment, if if Apple could break above like this 195.50 area, let me just draw a line and we could go back and kind of look. I just want to mark it as a line so my eyes can see it visually. 195.50. And if we go back here, I know that looks very gnarly. So let me boom. Let me zoom out a little bit, or zoom in as they say. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. If we can break above 195.50, then Apple will run a little bit, in my opinion, just a little. Up to 200, who knows, but just a little bit. Big Riches, thank you for the follow. Ivy Geek Boy, thanks for joining. I don't know, resisting a lot in that area. I agree. It is this is some strong resistance. This is some strong resistance. If it could break through, if we get a strong breakthrough, it could run up. It could run up, but we don't know what those catalysts are that would give it a breakthrough. So Kaka, Maluma, are you guys still in? I feel you, radiations. It is a lot of resistance. I don't I just it's some resistance in here. You see, we got all this activity in this area that we're in now. So I think Apple really might just get carried by the general market sentiment. If they lower rates, if Powell says something, if the economy just stays kind of chill, or maybe if Apple, they get the right to put the blood oxygen back in their watches or something. You know what I mean? If they get the right to put some, hey yo, how often does Apple close its gaps? I don't know. Now, Deb Manzano, Deb, are you here right now? Deb, this is great back testing work for you. So this is what I like to do in my back testing. That type of question is the perfect question to back test. I would go back and identify all the gaps on Apple and see how quick does it close the gaps, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. And what I noticed, just to give y'all a little bit of what I noticed, 2022, basically going into like 2023, going into 2024, like before 2023, maybe because of how the market was, I noticed that gaps, especially with like the big stocks, Apple, SPY, things like that, they would close relatively fast. Now I'm starting to see where gaps are not closed for extended periods of times now. Like we're going, days, weeks before a gap closes, depending on the stock. So for Deb Manzano, I would say that's great back testing homework. If you want a little bit of an assignment to help you, go back and identify all the daily gaps you can find on Apple and see when do they close. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head, but that would be some great back testing homework. And that's the way that I back test. I think of a very mechanical piece of information that I want the answer to for myself, and then I go through and I chart it out as much as I can. All right, all right, all right. User says I agree. It's ifty. Kaka says right here, and I'm listening too. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I mean, I know it's kind of hazy, and that's the part because nobody can predict where the market is going to go and when, so don't let people make you think that they do know. We just have our analysis. That's what we have as traders. Maluma says, so you say February calls. You know what? It's a trip. I do say February calls. Let me tell you, in my Discord, I called out February calls for Apple. Let's go back. Thank you for saying that, Maluma. Let's go back and I'll show you guys some of my analysis. The Midnight Poet. I would say the only thing to solidify the uptrend would be a product announcement. Probably. You know what they have? All right, we got some good dialogue here. We got good dialogue. Apple's supposed to report numbers for the. Wait, no, is that Apple? Didn't Apple have the goggles? They're supposed to report sales numbers for those. That might do it. The sales numbers for those Apple goggles, those Apple VR glasses or something. I don't think so because it's literally 3, though. Wow, for the Vision Pros. Yeah, 3,000 for those, right? Yeah, exactly. So that could be the news. That could be the news. But Maluma is reminding me that a few weeks ago, I did call out some calls for Apple based on my analysis. So I'm going to go into the Discord right now and check it out. So thank you, Maluma. So we're still on Apple. I'm going to finish up Apple, then we can get to the rest of those tickers because we got to talk about Spirit. We got to talk about Meta. We got to talk about Celsius. Somebody said they actually sold 180,000 headsets. So that's 630 million. Small Bags Daily. How do you know that? Shout out to Mocha Ray. She just joined. Small Bags Daily. How do you know how many they sold? And I'm not trying to come at you. My bad. I don't want it to seem like I'm coming at you. I'm just wondering, like, where could we look at the article or the information? The goggles were yesterday. They reported them yesterday, Rec Cars. I don't know why Discord is taking forever to open. Yo, Johnny GT747, thanks for the follow. Yo, you guys got me to 10,000 likes. What? Thank y'all so much, man. I've never had this many likes ever in a live before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alicia, thank you so much. The link is in the bio for the Discord. Passive Income University. All right, so I did call out calls on some chart analysis in my Discord for Apple. So Maluma and Kaka, if you're still here, you're reminding me to go look at my chart that I did some weeks ago for Apple. Let me show y'all. Let me see. Small Bags Daily says F10 filing report and also information came out the other day. Thank you, Small Bags Daily. Everybody, let's give a salute to Small Bags for the information confirming that Apple sold 180,000 of their Vision Pros, which is roughly 630 million. I need to make a note for myself to go and check that out. Appreciate that, Small Bags Daily. So everybody give a big shout out to Small Bags. All right, I'm in the Discord where I was dropping some of the things I was looking at. And I know I mentioned Apple in here. Where is it at? Apple. Amazon. Dang, I can't believe how long ago that was. Amazon. Where did I do that Apple chart? I did that Apple chart, y'all. Oh, it was puts. My bad. All right. Y'all don't laugh. It was puts. It was puts. So this was December 10th. I said Apple puts last time in this price area, August of 2023. There was a sell off. I'd be looking to swing trade puts when it hits the 193.28 area. And that was for Apple. Which chart was that? That's Exxon. That's Microsoft. All right. So this, I was talking about Apple puts. My bad. It wasn't calls. It wasn't calls. So I had called Apple puts December 10th. And let me just toot my own horn a little bit. Let's just see what happened on December 10th. 30-minute. There we go. So this is Apple, December 8th. December 10th was a Sunday. So here's Friday, December 8th, right here. And then when the market opened up, so I, in the middle, when I was doing my charting homework with the Discord, I did charting and I said Apple puts, and look exactly what happened. Apple dropped down. So I was proud of myself on that one, calling those Apple puts. But my bad to Maluma and Kaka. I thought I had called the calls on some long-term charting. But to answer Maluma's question, I would probably say February calls. I would do that for a nice swing trade. So what I would do first, though, is find a nice area of support and see how far away we are from that area when it comes to Apple. But I think February calls aren't that bad. That's not a bad thing. And I think that we might get a catalyst from them reporting those numbers from the Vision Pros. Again, a shout out to Small Bags Daily. This is the daily chart that we're looking at now for Apple. So we are in this resistance area. So there might be a retracement or a pullback. So I would wait for a little bit of a retracement or pullback, especially because look at this daily chart. We're down here. This is some good support area down here on this daily chart, down in this area right here, which is like the 183, 186 range. So if price got down here, I will be looking to get some calls. That's me. All right. Let's see. How much is your Discord? Radiation says how much is the Discord? So the first 30 days is free, and then after that is $10 a month. But yeah, so no harm, no foul. If you're rocking with us, you could rock with the Discord for $10 a month. If not, you could cancel at any time. But you do get the first 30 days free just to see if it's worth it or not. I figure, I know there's so many people scamming and trying to do whatever to get your money right away. And I figure I could at least give a month free to see if it's worth it to you. All right. Small bag says $200 calls on Apple 216 if we can get some stable numbers from Asia. I like the way Small Bags is, bringing that good info on there. Billy Goats, thanks for the follow. Warriors TC, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so me personally, unless like I know Small Bag said the information came out already about the Vision Pro goggles, but we are in this area of resistance, and this is a daily chart. Look at this. Look at this daily chart. I'm gonna try to bunch it in. Look at this daily chart for Apple and its resistance, right? We kind of come up into this resistance. We broke through a little bit back in middle of December and then came down. We're back to a little bit of resistance. So we really would need some strong news to push through this resistance because the chart by itself really doesn't indicate that. All right, user 31187, definitely a pullback now seeing the daily. That 30-minute had me questioning in the direction. Yeah, so that's why it's always good to zoom out too. I have to constantly remind myself to zoom out. I get so caught up looking at that 30-minute chart. I got to remember that the trend is your friend. And the best way to see the trend is to zoom out and look at larger time frames. So user 31187, I don't know why it doesn't show your username, but appreciate that. Jeffrey says, can you do Meta, please? Meta is next. All right. So Kaka, Maluma, I hope that we at least gave you some value, answer some questions that you might have in terms of looking at the Apple chart. But we're moving on to Meta now. All right, Meta. Let's take a look at Meta. Maybe I should start off with a higher time frame. All right, so we are now looking at Meta 30-minute chart. Let me just bring it to the daily time frame so that we can see if there's a trend. And of course, like the rest of the market, we are pretty high. Now another indicator that I do use is the wedge maker. It's actually probably better if you draw it yourself, if you draw your own wedges or your own like broadening formations. But that's to a degree. What you see is this red line. It's an indicator that's already plotted out this line. But what we see, this is the daily chart for Meta. All right, we're looking at Meta. Well, first, let's do the easy thing. And I know we're like at all-time highs, so the answer is already kind of there for the market. But the first easy thing to do is to see, is there anywhere in the past have we been in this area before? And it looks like we have. And it looks like this is a resistance area for Meta. User 31187 says, LOL, I never made a username. That's my bad. It's all right. It's all right, yo. I'm gonna keep calling you user 31187 until you make a username. Yo, Small Bags Daily, thank you for sharing the live, bro. Thank you so much. Or sis or ma'am or however. I don't know if you're male or female, but shout out, shout out. All right. So here we are. We are back to this is August, or this is September/August of 2021. So like the last time that we were in this area for Meta, this was an area of resistance, but we all know that, right? Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Male, Small Bags Daily is male. All right, for sure, for sure. What's going on with Tesla? Whose man is this? We'll get there in a little bit. We got a few tickers to get through. It's kind of like walking to a barber shop. We got a few people in the chair ahead of you, but we're gonna get there. Right now, we're taking a look at Meta for the homie. Is it Jeffrey? Yo, Mike, thank you for the follow. If you're still on, yeah, Jerry Frias for the homie Jerry Frias. We're looking at Meta, so we are literally right here. That these two little lines, this yellow one and this blue one, if y'all can see it, is where Meta is at right now. So we've broken a little bit above this resistance level. So let's see. But we do got a little bit of news on here. I don't know how much this news impacts, but it says Reels ad revenue is growing. Analyst predicts what it means for Meta in 2024. We got some bright analysts. City analysts predict strong growth. I will say the general sentiment that I've seen from different traders and investors is that Meta is poised to continue to go up. But of course, with trading, here it is. Here's that pricing channel, that wedge, the indicator that I use. And you can see to a degree, it hasn't really stuck to this much. It hasn't really stuck to this, but we are obviously in this very long upward trend. But this is the daily chart. So I would imagine a little bit of a pullback. You can kind of see the pattern here. So Jerry, are you right here? Jerry, you're in here? Small Bags is talking to who mans is this? He says you can play the run up and dump before earnings and lock in the bags. I love that mentality. Shout out to Small Bags. Okay, so the initial thing that I'm seeing in my analysis with Meta, based off of this indicator, this wedge maker, right, is we see this run up to this red line, the top of the channel or the wedge, and then it drops back down and hits the bottom. We see somewhat of the run up, and then it comes back and it's kind of up here. Now we might be breaking structure and looking for some crazy run up, which could happen, or we might see a little bit of a come down, which is this is obvious, right? We kind of get into that flip of the coin nature of trading, right, or even investing. Jerry Frias, all right, Jerry's still here. With most things, Jerry, if I was to be trading Meta right now, I would be concerned, at least within the next few days, somewhat of a pullback, a dip down, right? Because we could kind of see that with this pattern here. And then the run up, and then the down, and then the run up, and then the little bit of a down. We have this somewhat of a run up. So I would be concerned. It depends if, obviously if you're trading options contracts, if you're looking for calls to go long, I would wait to enter until we had a few days of like a down, like how we had here, back at the beginning of the year. We had these few days going into January that dipped down, and then we had a run up. Same thing right here when we talk about the beginning of December. We had a few bearish days and then the run up. So because we have the run up already, we're in that run up. I would be concerned that we would have a couple of bearish days. Maybe that's liquidity, the market makers capturing some profits before we push back up. That's what I could see happening. Small Bags Daily, whose man is this? Swung from yesterday, got out at open. We bounced, so I took the bag. Small Bags, you talking about Meta? All right, Small Bags Daily, they have insane amounts of advertising coming in. We can see the new all-time highs. All right. Okay. So Small Bags overall, is your thoughts to still be bullish in this moment right now, or did you already get out? Because I'm thinking that Meta might have a couple of days of a pullback, like a retracement, and then shoot up. That's what I'm thinking, Jerry. That's kind of what my analysis is seeing. That's what I'm thinking, G. I'm on the 382 for puts for a slight pullback to the 1 hour gap and possibly. Make sure I'm reading that right. That's what I'm thinking, G. I'm on the February 2nd, 382 40 puts. 382 40 puts. 382. And you said on the 1 hour gap to the 1 hour. There's a gap on the 1 hour? All right, we're looking at the 1 hour chart on Meta. Let's see. Red cars, DWAG gonna pump with Trump news. Market might pump up in the morning. Pump with Trump. The pump with Trump, y'all. Earnings for many companies will keep the market at bay. I think so too. Red cars and 50 calls. Yep, I think so too. Let me tell y'all something. This has been probably one of my most favorite lives, y'all. So I appreciate everybody just having comments, having a nice open dialogue and discussion, keeping it respectful. Everybody sharing things, sharing news. Small Bag Daily. Is it Dream Goals? Are you still in here, bro? Like people like Small Bags and Dream Goals and whose man's is this and everybody who shares information. I love that. I love that a lot. I appreciate it. So Jerry, I hope that gave you a little bit of value, man. It looks like Small Bags was able to get out. Hammer, thanks for the follow. Yo, Small Bags, thanks for the rose. Big salute. Shout out. But yeah, so I'm thinking, especially if I'm on the same frequency and alignment as Small Bags, because we had this run up, there'd be a little bit of a retracement in the pull back down, just a little bit, and then a bounce up, especially because it looks like Meta has some good news on the horizon coming, or at least never dived into the strat it's cool to help learn with like entries and exits. At least for me, that's what it helped me. Mexi, that's what it helped me do. Yo, Alicia just joined. Yo, Alicia, thank you so much. Alicia just joined the Discord. Everybody, give a big shout out to Alicia. Got to give her a salute. Thank you so much. Smallback says, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make it a 15. Thank you so much. The like button. Thank you so much. Yo, Smallback. Oh, snap. What are we doing over here? All right. So, Jerry, I hope that helps, man. Salute to Alicia. Yes. Mexi, just use the 3 bar from the strat. That's right. I feel you on that, Smallbacks. Yep. So, just a little recap of what we were looking at with Meta, especially looking at the daily chart on this wedge maker indicator. What we're kind of seeing is we're at the top of this wedge right here. And the kind of pattern that's been happening at least since October, and I'll slide it over here, right? We had a run up and then somewhat of a pullback, and then a run up, and then we come pullback. We're running up, and the run up is more than the pullback. If you notice that, that's why we're in this upward trend for Big Sarge. Big Sarge, what did Big Sarge just send? Sent a team bracelet. Yo, big shout out to Big Sarge. Thank you. All right. So for those of us that are thinking about meta like Jerry, just take note that on this wedge or this price channel or for broadening formation, however you want to look at it, we have these run-ups. Let me move this over. We have run-ups, and then they're followed by some smaller retracements or pullbacks. But just note that the run-up, look at on the left-hand side of the screen, is typically more than the pullback. You see how this kind of overall daily run-up happened, and then a small pullback here. This nice strong run up. This was back in the beginning of the year, first week of January. Small little pullback. We're still running up. So I'm thinking we're right at the tipping point for a small little pullback and then another run up, especially with the good news that Smallback says, look at Meta on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour. Let's see. So this is the 4-hour chart for Meta. And if you're new, that means each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours of time. All right, maybe I should be zooming out a little bit. Looking at the 4-hour. What do you see, Smallbacks? It kind of looks a little bit the same to me to that daily. Smallbacks, what do you see? User 31187. I like the daily consolidation. Swilly, thanks for joining. See how we've been range bound? Arrangement. Yep. Take a look. Does everybody see what Smallbacks is talking about in terms of the range? Pardon me, y'all. I'm getting like really congested right now. Let's see. Weird not looking at my charts. What do you mean by that? 31187. What's going on? Okay. So we're bound by the range. So Smallback says, see how we're bound by the range, or we're range bound. Pardon me. See how we're range bound. Let's see. Interesting enough on this 4-hour, this area right here could be a level of support. I don't know what y'all feel about that, but I feel like this area right here kinda, because it was somewhat of a resistance area on the 4-hour chart, could be a level of support now. So here we're looking. Oh my god, my bad, y'all. Bear with me. All right, here we go. So this is the 4-hour chart for Meta. This area right here, if we pull back, I could see being a little bit of an area of support. Remember, like I said, support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. Smallback says, so when you can see a major pump or dump, go into your indicator type in IOBP. IOBP. Let's see. IOBP. Institutional order block pressure. Let me add it to my favorites. Oh, wow. I think it added it 8 times. My bad, y'all. All right. So Smallbags Daily just put us on to an indicator. Y'all give a salute to Smallbags. Let me delete it because I added it 3 times. My bad. And so the indicator is the IOBP, the institutional order block. And we do see some retracements. It's a lot of information here. So I do think that we could pull back into this area. This is at least what my eye is saying. Could be some support right here, which is kind of in alignment with this order block, this green bar right here, and a little bit of this retracement. So it's weird seeing how other people chart. And I'm not even the best charter. Let me tell you that. User 31187. It's not, I'm not even the best charter. I'm just trying to incorporate what the comments are saying, from people like Small Bags so that we can all take a look together. I'm watching your live and looking at your charts. Only use a couple MA and support resistance. That's what's up. That's what's up. I could dig that. And I'm using the indicators like I said, you guys saw how I broke down the Alibaba and the SPY trades. There wasn't very much indicators on there. We're just taking a look and seeing what different people out here use, like Small Bags and things like that. Now it shows when the banks buy and sell. That's right. That's right. That's pretty dope. I wonder what they use for that. Okay, okay. So, Jerry, if you're still looking, I hope that answered a little bit of a question to you. I personally, and we can never predict, full disclaimer, I'm only speaking for myself and what I think. I'm thinking that based off of that daily chart pattern that we saw, and even to a degree, this 4-hour chart that we're kind of looking at, we'll have a little bit of a retracement down here, maybe into the support area before we bounce up and run up again. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Somebody was asking for Celsius. I feel so bad because they've been very, very patient. They're probably gone off the live right now, but we'll still do it in their spirit, in their name, to look at Celsius. So we're looking at ticker symbol CELH. This is Celsius Holdings. That is Charlie, Edward, Lima, Harry, CELH. Now, my default is that 30-minute chart, but we'll take it off the 30-minute and zoom out to the daily to see if we could see any type of pattern. So here is the daily chart for ticker symbol CELH, which is Celsius. Okay, okay. So I see right here, the first thing my eyes is seeing is a little bit of support in this area for Celsius, which we saw. And if we even look at this, remember, I know I probably sound like a broken record, that support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support, but we could see that perfectly with Celsius. Look at this. So over here in this range from June to July of 2023, this was an area of resistance for Celsius. Now, if we fast forward into the future, that resistance has now become an area of support at the end of December 2023. Do we see that? So for us new people, this is the perfect example right here. Look at this white shaded area. That support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. And this is why it's also important to also look at the daily time frames or to zoom out. And that's one thing I'm always having to remind myself to do because I'm a scalper that leans on the 30-minute chart. And you can see how much information I'm missing by being too zoomed in on the 30-minute. This is why it's good to zoom out. Yes, yes, yes. So big shout out to Small Bags chopping it up in there, saying that his team uses it in the Telegram all the time. User 31187, definitely. You're doing good. Longest I've watched a trader doing a live. I appreciate that. Rec Cars says they split the stock recently. We're talking about Celsius, Rec Cars. Yo, shout out to Rec Cars. Always talking about the stock splits. I love it. I love it. And we got to have a stock split specialist. So that's going to be Rec Cars. So everybody, I know it's very soon. This might be a little premature, but we're going to designate Rec Cars as the stock split specialist. All right. User 5482971117794 says, can you please chart SPY? We did a little bit ago. I'll go back. I don't mind, but we do have a couple people. We're taking a look at Celsius right now. And then we got Spirit Airlines, which I think Dream Goals was asking for. I don't know if Dream Goals is still in, but we got to do it for in the name of the bro, for the Spirit because they asked for it. But yeah, we gotta make Rec Cars the stock split specialist. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We got to come up with a name for Small Bags Daily too. I mean, obviously they got Small Bags. That's a pretty dope name. I like that, Small Bags Daily. But we got to come up with another name, like a street nickname, a TikTok streets nickname. So if you know to call Small Bags the other name that we have for Small Bags, then we know like you've been around for a minute. So we gotta come up with a name for Small Bags. Radiation says Spy falls tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I had an old lady that was a big time investor. She used to always tell me like Wednesdays were like a pullback days for Spy or for the market. Done. LOL. I never keep up with the splits. Yo, Justin, thanks for the live. Appreciate that. Justin Garzarelli. All right. So I forgot who it was that was asking about Celsius, but the first thing that we see here, at least on this daily chart, is that back in June of July of 2023, this area of, we'll say it's about the $48 range. Let me bring it on over to right over here so we can see the price too. Cool. Let me zoom this in. All right, now we can see the price overhead over there on the right hand side. So back in June, going into June and July of 2023, this area down here in the white shaded area was a level of resistance. It had this crazy gap up for whatever reason. Was there earnings in there? It looks like that was an earnings day. So this was earnings for Celsius. They beat their earnings, had this crazy gap up. And then look, it came all the way right back down to what was once a resistance area. Now it's support. And you can see it did that a few times. Let's kind of zoom in and take a look. Look at this. Came down to the support, bounced up, came back down to the support, bounced up, back into the support, back into the support, still in the support, bounced up, back down into the support area. Nope, Dream Goals, you're still here. Shout out to Dream Goals. You did not miss Spirit Airlines. It's coming up right now. You're the next one in the chair like the barbershop, bro. You're the next one in the chair like the barbershop. We're finishing up Celsius a little bit. I forgot who asked for it. Smallback says, I don't think so because Wednesday will bring a lot of volume. Thursday we fall if Tesla don't do well. Yes. Dream goals to be accomplished. Small bags, shout out to small bags. I got to make sure I follow Dream Goals, Small Bags, Wreck Cars. I think I could just do that now. Can't I just do it in the live now? Boom. Yeah, that's what I usually try to wait until I'm done with the live, but I could just do all that now. I could do the follows now. Wreck Cars, where you at? Stock split specialist, where are you? There you go. But is the person that asked for Celsius still in here? So the first thing that I'm seeing, and we've got earnings coming up. Ooh, what's earnings for Celsius is on? Earnings for Celsius is on March. Oh, that's March 7th. We got some time. Okay. Did we miss? And then they just did it on November. That makes sense. December. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Let's see here. So this is how the daily turned out. We got this gap down, strong bearish pressure, momentum to the downside. Red cars. I asked you about Celsius. Oh, okay. So are you in a trade for Celsius right now? Mocha Ray says you're on a marathon live. Thank you, Mocha Ray. Yes. As a matter of fact, my phone's about to die. So let me get a charger. Give me just a moment, y'all. Oh, shoot. Y'all bear with me. Don't leave your boy just yet. My phone's about to die. I have to get a charger on it. All right, y'all didn't leave your boy, did you? Y'all didn't leave your boy, did you? All right, so Celsius, are you peeping out the chart? Are you in a trade? That's what I was. Celsius, Red Cars, Red Cars, still here, bro. Shout out to Dream Goals. The Midnight Poet is still here. Yo, Midnight Poet in the building. Midnight Poet is still in the building. Red Cars. Are you in a trade for Celsius right now? Are you looking for the upside or the downside? Are we thinking to 58? Thinking to 58 to the upside. That is a gap that needs to be filled. I can see that. I can see that. That's a gap that needs to be filled for Celsius. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Computer's tripping. You guys want to hear something crazy? I don't know if this is crazy, but this iMac that I have, I've actually had it for almost 10 years. I remember I bought it Super Bowl Sunday, 2015. So this iMac has been riding with me for years, and years. Prim Gala says, I'm still waiting for analysis on Marvel tech stock for a long-term investment. All right, let me add that up after Spirit. Let me add Marvel. But I wanted to know if Rec Cars was in a trade. They're looking for the upside to the 58, which is in an area, a gap fill that needs to happen. I'm going to open up a chart for Marvel so we know to do that after Spirit Airlines. Yo, Brandon. Yo, small bags. Thank you for the likes. This has been my most liked, I think, most successful live ever. So I really appreciate y'all. I think I want to do something special. So if you followed me or something like that, I would kind of might cash app somebody like $50 or something, somebody that was rocking with me. I'm gonna go look in the analytics after the live from TikTok to see who were like the longest viewers in the audience or something. So I might reach out to you. User 31187 says, I think it's going back to 48.50 first before it tries to go back up. Thank y'all for the likes, y'all. Thank you. I want to give a shout out again to Small Bags Daily for saying that they're going to get me to 15K likes. I've never had that ever. I think the most likes I've ever had probably was just a couple thousand likes. So Small Bags, this live is kind of dedicated to you, bruh. Thank you. All right. So let me bring up MRVL because somebody's been asking for that for a long time. So we're going to do that after Spirit. But let's go back to Celsius. Here we are, Celsius on the daily chart. Rec Cars is looking for Celsius to get to the 58 range right in here. I definitely do think it's possible, without a doubt. That's for sure. But when is the question? That is the question. And we just passed their earnings in November. They don't have earnings again until March. So let's see what's going on here. We got a little bit of news over here, though. That's one thing I like about TradingView. It gives you the news right on the side. So it says Celsius Holdings insider sold shares worth 13 million, so almost $14 million. So we had some insiders sell $14 million worth of shares. I think, let's see, we got a gap. This one took a couple of days to fill. This gap over here. I'm looking at just basically, I don't know. I'd have to go back and do some back testing on how long it takes on average for Celsius to close gaps. Because look, we had some gaps right here around their earnings. So a gap up, two gap ups, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to close that gap, and then 7 days to close the next one. So it could take anywhere. It could take about a week. It could, I mean, just off that was quick, lazy analysis. Lazy analysis. Jennifer Doan, thanks for the follow. 5150 it falls. If it goes down to 5150, which is right about here, I could kind of see that. That might be a level of like support right here, but it might drop down. I think it's going to come down into this normal area of support that we've been seeing, this kind of $50 range, and then shoot up. That's what I'm thinking. 15K likes. Yo, 15K likes. Yo, my gosh. What? The Midnight Poet, Small Bags Daily. Thank you, Small Bags Daily, Midnight Poet, Rec Cars. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. Everybody that has followed, everybody that has tapped in, everybody that's liked. The likes are coming through. That's what I'm saying. LOL, user 31187, 16K likes. Yo, thank y'all for the like. Yo, you guys are running it up, bruh. Y'all are running it up. I got to do something to thank y'all. I need celebration music. Yes. Mocha Ray is like the resident DJ. The live is lit. Alicia, for real. The live is lit. Okay. 17K likes. How the heck did y'all do that so quick? Man, I need to throw in some music right now. Oh, man. What song request do we got? So, hey, just because this has been my number one liked live, I'm gonna go back through the TikTok analytics when I'm done with the live, and I'm gonna pick one or two people to Cash App or Venmo some money just to say thank you. I gotta show a big amount of thanks again for Small Bags Daily, who said that the goal was to get to 15K likes. Thank you. This has been my most successful live I've ever done. The Midnight Poet, I salute you, bro. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you. Dream Goals are still tapping in, liking the live. You guys are freaking amazing, man. Yo, y'all are so dope. Y'all are so freaking dope. The Cool J says, awesome. I appreciate it. Everybody that's rocked with me tonight, man. I can't even say it enough. I cannot say it enough. A couple of y'all are gonna hear from me. I'm gonna be, hey, Post Malone is a good one. Which one? What Post Malone song? Congratulations. Ah, that's what he said. Oh, Post Malone, congratulations. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. Should I go to the YouTube or should I do the Apple Music? Dang, yo, and Mocha Ray, y'all is like a big music aficionado, and so she's always telling me like I need to have the music already queued up and everything like that. But if you guys have ever done like a TikTok live and you're trying to share screens and do all this kind of stuff, it's you got to have all this stuff kind of like already lined up. But let's play a little music. YouTube vision is key. YouTube vision is key. All right. Yo, y'all ran it up to 18K likes. Y'all are crazy, man. Small Bags dropped the link in the chat. Shout out to Small Bags. Are we doing it or what? Are we doing it? Congratulations. Small Bags said, let's ump the Andy to 20K likes. Yo, yo. Thank y'all for tapping in with your boy. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. I don't want the, we'll do a little bit of vibe right quick. Milton Guerra, yes, I do trade options. We'll pick the music in the background. I got to keep giving value. I don't want people to get bored and leave. Yo, so I do trade options. That's what we're talking about. Milton, for the most part, is trading options. Rec cars. So we're talking about rec cars. We're talking about Celsius, ticker symbol CELH. That is Charlie, Edward, Larry, Harry. This is the daily chart. I think most of us are in a general consensus that we're going to have a little bit of some pullback and retracement still before we bounce up and close this gap up here. That's what my analysis says. But is there a different time frame we should look at? We're looking at the daily chart. I know Small Bags says, I know Small Bags is mentioned to look at the 4-hour chart earlier. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart for Celsius. Man, y'all got me so excited. I can't even concentrate. I just want to vibe out right now. I just want to vibe out. Alicia, thank you for the likes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. All right. So we're now looking at the 4-hour chart for Celsius. And to me, it is making more sense that we would come down a little bit more. But we are getting, I mean, based on this, it's a little bit of consolidation. If you do count the pre-market or aftermarket activity, like we got this consolidation happening. So it might be a push up or it could be a strong push down. But look at this 4-hour chart though. My bad. I don't have it really on the camera. Look at this 4-hour chart. This is a little bit of an area of support for Celsius. We are in a little bit of areas of support. So we could shoot up to that 58 area that Rec Cars is talking about. 20K on the likes. Oh my gosh. You guys got me so stoked. Next is 25. Yes. I check weekly, daily, 1 hour when I scan the morning. Yes, the weekly, daily, and 1 hour. So this 4 hours giving me a little bit of a notion that we are at a level of support above what I plotted out, this gray or this white shaded area. So for me, what I would look for is some type of break to help Rec Cars out. I will look for one strong indication. That all depends on what your trading strategy is, whether it's simply a candlestick pattern, exponential moving average. I'll be looking for some type of break, a pricing point break. Maybe if we break above, like I say, if we break above this 53.83 area, then we could shoot back up. Once we break above that, I would take calls and ride it up. Something right in here. That's what I would look for. Yo, L315, shout out to you. Thanks for coming back to the live. I know you've joined a couple of my lives before. L315, user 1281620219017. Can you do a run through on CVNA? Yeah, we got a couple of tickers to get through first. We got to do Spirit Airlines, but let me do CVNA. Let's bring it up. We need another song now. We need another song. Oliver, what up, Oliver? Thanks for coming through, bro. You guys are rocking with me on the old what's the name? So Red Cars, I hope that helped. People love this like CMG. Yes. Wait. Are we still talking about Chipotle, or are we talking about music right there? Big Riches. Thank you. You guys just ran it past 21,000 likes. Thank y'all. Okay, so Red Cars, I hope that we provided value. I'm gonna just run that down one more time. So we're talking about the upside for Celsius. Just before I finish up and go to Spirit Airlines, my thoughts are if we break above right in this area. I know I said not to draw a line, but I just want to make it simple so that we can see it. My thoughts are, and small bag dailies, anybody else, if there's something else we should be taking a look at to help wreck cars out in terms of, plotting this out, let me know. But my thoughts are if we break above this purple line, then we could run up. Maybe even a little bit higher just to be safe. Hold on. All right, Jesus. All right. Why do I have this line just keep popping up, y'all? Right here, maybe about right here, something like that. I know that seems kind of arbitrary, but that would kind of be my, I don't know. Because even still, see, it's still a little bit of resistance. I'm thinking that retracement is going to happen first. I'm thinking that retracement work makes morning scans a pain sometimes for me. Same thing. I work too. User 31187. I don't know if you were on at the very beginning, but I'm not a full-time trader yet. I do got the 9 to 5 gig. So it's one of those things where we just got to push through our dedication and just stay on it. I haven't scanned in a minute. Just have the world top 100 companies. Oh, that's dope. You manually put the list together, small bags? The world 100 companies, like in the whole world? Or are you talking about the US? Thank y'all for the likes. We're at 22,000. If you got any song requests, let me know. Yeah, I can share. Thank you. I appreciate that, small bags. All right. So Red Cars, I'm on the fence because I keep raising the breakthrough point on my quick charting, just a quick little eyesight chart. I'm thinking that we might get a little bit more of that retracement first, that pull back down into the support area before we bounce up and close that gap that we saw on the daily chart. But if they do have news or something, because look, the only kind of news that we just got a few hours ago was that insiders were selling off. And so we don't know how the market typically reacts to that. Insiders are selling off right there. Small Bag says he has the top 100 companies in the world. That's dope. All right, Dream Goals. Are you still in here? We're looking at Spirit Airlines. We're looking at Spirit Airlines, Fanito, which is way down here at $8 a share because it just, Spirit, what happened? So we had this big drop the other day. We're looking at the 30-minute chart for Spirit. Let's change it to the daily. Dream Goals in the building. Play Key Glock. Let's go. Key Glock. Boom, boom. A Herbo baby. All right, let's go. Thank y'all for the likes. Maybe I should have everything queued up like on Apple Music or something. All right. Let's go. All right, we in here for Dream Goals right now. We in here for the bro Dream Goals. We're taking a look at Spirit Airlines. We're looking at Spirit Airlines. Hey. Now we had, what caused this drop in Spirit Airlines? I don't really know why. That's the first thing I need to know. So 7 hours ago, Moody's downgraded CFR of Spirit Airlines. So they just got a downgrade, but that was just some hours ago. Smallback daily, I chart for some guys at work. I'm still learning, but I can usually make some. Spirit initially dropped on Judge Deny merge with JetBlue. Oh, okay. Okay. So the news is with Spirit that they dropped on the merger because the judge denied it. So we got this strong drop down. And then it looks like it's trying to fight its way back up a little bit to make some of that drop back. For me, I'm just seeing upside on the recovery on this drop, because the last time Spirit was down here was in June of 2020. I'm seeing upside. This is June of 2020. Dream goals. Radiations, are you still going to teach how to use Robinhood? I can get into it a little bit. It's a lot different on the computer than it is the phone. So I might have to just drop. I might create a video, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. It's a lot different on the phone than it is the computer, but we're gonna take a look. But dream goals. Dream goals right now. I like to see everybody in the chat interacting with each other, showing love. I'm seeing people give props, showing thanks, all that. I really do like that, y'all. That makes me super stoked, super dope on this key Glock right now. Hey, 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 let's go. All right, so I want to ask y'all, this is what my eyes see. We're charting Spirit Airlines. It's already got the bad news. The bad news already hit. It's already dropped. These past couple of days, it's been fighting its way back up. Now, back here, the last time Spirit Airlines was at this level was right at the start of the pandemic. They had some bad earnings. Of course, the pandemic hit. We are right at that level, and after that, it came back up. Just this alone, without doing any more analysis, I just see upside potential. I would probably get calls for a couple weeks out, a few weeks out. Either way, don't matter as long as we making green. That's right. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Says radiations. Are you still going to teach? Yes, yes, yes. So what you think about that? Small bags. Alicia, if you're in here, what do you think? Dream Goal says, I'm hoping for a retest on the low from last week. Let's see. All right. So we're looking at the daily chart. You talking about this low right here from Thursday? So Dream Goals is hoping for a retest on this low. Are you talking about this one from Thursday down here? A little retest before it shoots up. Yo, Justin, thanks for the likes. Smoker Ray, thanks for the likes. I don't know about all this. I don't know about all this. We need another song. We need another song right quick. We need another song. LOL, I left Robinhood in 2020. I messed up and got marked as a pattern day trader. I started in 2019. Yo, it happens to all of us. We all go through it sometimes. We need another song request. We need something lit. We need something lit. Alicia said the congratulations by Post Malone. So she already gave us a song. Do It Myself by Russ. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Do It Myself, Russ, the Midnight Poet. Do It Myself, Russ. All right. All right. All right. 100. So we're looking for a retest. It looks like it left a gap. Ooh, good eye. So we had the news. Oops. Why are we doing this? All right. So we're looking at Spirit Airlines, ticker symbol SAVE. That's ticker symbol Sam, Adam, Victor, Edward, Spirit Airlines. This is the daily chart. This big bar down was the bad news because the judge denied the merger with them and JetBlue. Shout outs to Dream Goals for bringing this to our attention. It even had another gap down as well as another gap that didn't quite close right here. So I could see what Dream Goals is talking about. It's got some gaps to fill. It's got some gaps to fill. At least a $6 retraction. It's at $8, maybe a $4 from where it's at right now. A $4 retraction down. Yo, so close to that 25K. I thought I had one day trade left. Damn. Damn. You know, they give you that warning before. Well, I don't know back in 2020 if they were giving the warnings like they used to, but you know they give that warning. So the only question mark that I have Dream Goals is how often does Spirit Airlines close gaps? Because if you look over here, look at this. Look at this right here. We had a gap from November 20th that only closed because of that bad news. It only closed because of that bad news, bruh. It's in demand zone on my chart. A Quiet Place for Soul says it's in the demand zone. We made it to 25K. Yo. Oh, snap. We had 25K. 25. I don't even have any words anymore. Thank you, Small Bags. Thank you, Midnight Poet. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So what I'm noticing, though, is that we have this gap that only closed because of the bad news. We only closed this gap from back in November because of the bad news. So I don't know if this was like the normal way that Spirit Airlines the price movement is, especially with gaps, unless those rumors started about the buy-in or the merger. If the rumors started around this time, that would make sense that we had this run up with this gap that didn't close. Akil, thanks for joining, bruh. We just touched 25K likes. Thank you for coming through. Did we get another song request? Did we get another one for the 25K likes? Did we have to run congratulations back? For sure. I appreciate you, bro. Dustin, what up, man? We do have this candlestick, this daily candlestick, the way that this one ended. It is an indication that we might have some downside coming back down. Dustin says, what do you do? I am a part-time trader. We could say that for right now. Options trading. That's right. Yeah. Options trading. This is options trading. We're looking at Spirit Airlines on the daily chart. They need a merger because the company could go bankrupt without it. Yo, Dream Goals, you know what happened when people was going bankrupt during the pandemic? That's when stocks was going crazy. As soon as people was announcing the bankruptcy, the stocks was going off. Stingray 369, a big shout out. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Oh, Small Bags, what you, yo, all right, real quick. Small Bag says, play 50 Cent, I'm the man. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something about that song. A few years ago, I had bought, this was like 5 or 6, 7 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, I had bought my first house. And I became house poor. I put all my money into getting the down payment for the house, and I didn't have no money for anything else. My car broke down. My car broke down. I didn't have a car. I was house poor. I had just bought this house. And I had to ride the bus to work for a year. I had to ride the bus to work for a year. Thank you for the follow, Stingray. I had to ride the bus to work for a year. And the one song that got me through riding the bus for a whole year was I'm the Man by 50 Cent. That was the one song that got me through riding the bus when I was saving up to buy a car. Dang, that's a crazy song. Dustin, have you seen Netflix earning report? I have not. Dream Goes, thanks, bro, for your insight, and I'll be looking out for your live on the regular. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna be checking your page out too. Yes, yes, yes. So I don't know where we landed. I'm thinking that we're still gonna have some because we got this bearish candlestick to the downside, you know. So I'm thinking we will have a little bit of that retracement. Your beliefs is strong. Gotta work at 5 a.m. All right, bro, get that rest. Tap in with you soon. Almost at 26K likes. Man, y'all are amazing. Tommy, thanks for the follow. Dustin and 500 calls for January 26th for Netflix. Small Bag, are you in Netflix calls for? You're in Netflix calls, Small Bags. Same. I'm about to go eat, but I followed you and look forward to seeing your live again. Thank you, user 31187. I appreciate that. Yo, Justin, thank you so much for the likes, my guy. Thank you. Justin's been keeping it strong, carrying us over each goal that Small Bag sets when it comes with the likes. Appreciate it. Thank you for the keep up for the good work. Flex, thank you. Thank you. Revenue growth was good. Thank y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So the person that wanted to look at Marvell Technologies. Looks like we had a crazy run up on this daily chart. So we're looking at Marvell Technologies right here. Justin in the building. I'm so mad I didn't get in Netflix. I got to bring that up next too. All right. So where are we at with this? Where are we at? I got to bring up the Netflix chart, but somebody did ask for Marvell Technologies. Currently at $70.60. It's got a bullish hammer. That's how the day ended. Let's see if we got any areas of resistance that we might need to look out for. Click bang with the money. Hey, Flex, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. All right, we might still have a little bit of area to run up because I'm only seeing resistance around this area right here. Like I said, you should draw your support and resistance with a rectangle, an area, as opposed to a just a line. So let me do that right now. Right now. Hey, is the music too loud? Is it not loud enough? Bitch, my man. Howdy, sir. You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I'll check your station later after. Good, good. Perfect, perfect. All right. Wait, Smallbacks, you got a station? What's that? What is that? What link is that? Stingray 369 had it on my YouTube since Sunday. What are we talking about? What did I miss? Oh, you talking about the song? Man, this song got me through. Y'all don't understand. All right. Okay, okay. So, like I said, I did a little area of resistance. It looks like this area was formed back in December, November of 2021. It kind of came up to this area, rejected, comes up to this area, rejects. So, based on what I see, we do have some more room to run for Marvell Technologies. He's talking about the NFTX he called his Netflix calls. All right, let me check that out. Let me check that out in a second. But I forgot who asked for Marvell. They probably left because it took me too long to get to it. But for that person, for the spirit of them, just on a quick analysis, looking at the daily chart. So looking at the daily chart for Marvell, I do think we have some more room to run, especially with this bullish hammer. There's a couple of other things that you might want to take a look at depending on your trading style. If you like to use EMAs, if you like to use the strat, things like that. But based on this kind of run up and what I see, I think there's more room to run. Obviously, if you look at this daily chart, you can clearly see that Marvell likes to have all kind of gaps all over the place. But in my opinion, I think we still have a little bit of upside potential to go up to this area. But we could throw on some other indicators on here, right? Like let's take a look at the wedge maker. Yeah, so we're right in the middle of this kind of wedge or this broadening formation. And we might want to look at maybe some 50% or something like that. But I think we still have more room up to the upside, at least into this area. So Marvell is currently at the $70 mark. It could get close to about 76 bucks. I'd be curious to check out what some of the options contracts are. Small bags. Thank you for the roses, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. Thanks for joining. Thank you for the roses, everybody. Play Jeezy, if I'm being honest, with the hits. Small bag with the hits. So whoever was talking about Marvell, first and foremost, I apologize for taking so long to get to it. This small, quick analysis that I'm looking at on the daily chart, I do believe that there's still some more room to continue to go up in the near future. Going up from the $70 range up to this kind of like $76 range, getting close to it. All right, so we want to play, if I'm being honest. All right, all right. Get these songs popping. All right, let's take a look at Netflix. Can we do that one time? Can we take a look at Netflix right quick? Let me see if I can share the top 100 companies in the world. Yeah, please do, bruh. That'd be dope. Miros, thanks for joining. Watchdog, thanks for joining. Minimum length of expiration on a call option day trade. Thanks. For me, this is to Flaflex. So for me individually, for me, I like at least 5 business days of expiration minimum. That's just for me. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about how to play the 0 day options if you catch the right move, and how a $1 move could be 150%. But that's the trouble, right? If you're playing 0 dates, meaning that there's no days to expiration, the contract is going to be expiring that same day. You have to be extremely spot on with what the direction is. Me personally, even though I'm a day trader slash scalper, I just like to see, when it comes to the Greeks, my theta a lot lower than my delta. Now, there's some people that criticize me and they say, well, you're paying too much based on the way that you trade the options contract premium if you're going to get 5 day expiration. If you know you're going to scalp and sell the same day, you might as well just get 0 dates. But me personally, I really don't like them. So my rule of thumb for myself, I can't tell you what to do, but my rule of thumb for my own trading is I like at least 5 business days before the contracts expire. So if it's Monday, I don't mind looking at contracts that expire on Friday. But once we get to about Wednesday, Thursday of the week, I'm looking at next week's contracts. That's the way that I trade. The Midnight Poet says he does 0 date personally. And I shout out to everybody that can successfully trade 0 dates, because y'all be out there killing it. Y'all be out there killing it big time. My computer's not loading up Netflix, y'all. I don't know what's going on. The whole song just played, and this wasn't even pulling up the what's the name. Let me close some of these tabs. My old computer just trying to do the best it can, rocking with me. We got CVNA. That's right. I thought I brought that chart up. Let me bring up CVNA. Hold on, y'all. Gotcha. Thanks. Makes sense. Yep. So you just take what works best for you, FLA Flex, Flex. Take whatever works best for you. Understand your trading style so you can see what's out there. You got the Midnight Poet, who trades 0 dates almost exclusively. That's a 0 date specialist. And then you got Curtis G, who, even though I'm a day trader, I just like to have more of that delta on top of my theta. That's just me. So 5 business days for me, but there's clearly people out there that are successful with the 0 dates. Carvana. Let's see how we're doing. I don't know why the Netflix didn't come up. All right, let's take a look at Carvana. We're looking at Carvana for user 128162002. All right, let me see. We got some comments. Red cars. Don't forget to look at SQQQQ chart. SPY to 490. Stingray. All right, I got you, red cars. All right, Stingray. I did 5 days and it didn't work for me. Now I'm 0 day, but I still like to learn from everyone. I love it. I love that mentality, because that's what it's all about. You just learn from everyone, pick out the best things that you can put into your strategy. That way you get better and better. All right, Midnight Poet says, I am a very far from a specialist, LOL. So Flufflex says theta over delta. No, for me, it's delta over theta. And it's just psychological for me. When I'm going in looking at my options contracts, I'd rather see a delta of like 50 and a theta of 15. I don't like seeing like my delta be 50 or 55, and then my theta is like 55 2 or 60 or 65 or something like that. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And it shouldn't even matter to me because I scalp. But that's just a mental thing. And that's the crazy thing about trading, right? We can even observe this together as a group and a community right now. You see how psychology right there is preventing me from doing something different. So the number one thing you want to be in tune with when you're trading is conquering your own technology or your own psychology. Once you can conquer your own psychology, then you'll be unstoppable. You'll be way unstoppable. Let's get to 30K right quick. That's what L15 is saying. Thank you. EL15 or L, is that how am I saying it right? I appreciate you, man, because I've seen you join a few of my lives. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We hit that 30K. You guys are crazy. I don't know why Netflix never came up, but I wanted to see what Small Bags Daily was doing on that Netflix chart. Let me close this tab and see if I can bring up another one. Might have to restart the. I've heard people say they have this restart trading view, and I've never experienced that until now. All right, so we're looking at Carvana. Carvana has earnings on February 22nd. Flufflex says, I remember Carvana at the $4.50 range. Oh man, that wasn't too long ago. That was just in April of 2023. Who's scared? Now, FLA Flex, are we talking about Carvana as a trade or a long-term investment? User 1218620219017 says they got in at $6. Are you still holding? Are you still holding on them $6? Stingray 369. Netflix went 490 to 535 today after hours after earnings. What? 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 Are you serious? What? It won't even let me bring up Netflix. All right, there we go. All these old indicators. I don't even use these indicators anymore. The best part of life. Yo, that is crazy. Look at this after hours activity on Netflix. This is the 30-minute chart. So look, they missed earnings. They didn't beat their earnings and they only beat revenue. And I don't want to say only, but look, see, this is what I was talking about earlier about how crazy it is for earnings. They missed their earnings by almost 5%, but they beat revenue by about 110 million. And that, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, even you just never know. They just merged with WWE. Oh, that is true. Yeah, going to 5K contracts in the morning. That's right, Small Bags. Number of new members was major. See, this is why you have to be tapped in with not just the earnings, but what are they talking about around the earnings? Remember, if you guys were on the live at the very, very beginning, I said the tricky thing about earnings is like what we saw in 2023. Even if a company had a miss, so look at this. Even though Netflix missed on the earnings per share, because of the other news that they announced, it still shot up, as well as having new members subscribe. Just like last year, even if a company didn't do too well, or they had a slight miss on their earnings, if they just mentioned that they were getting into AI last year, their stock boomed up during their earnings. Yeah, that forward guidance. Exactly. Exactly. Forward guidance is the right word, the right phrase. Maria, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And so I guess the real congratulations is for Small Bags. Small Bags is about to wake up to a big bag in the morning. And what contracts did you say you got? What contracts did you say you got? Small Bags on the Netflix? $500 calls. Oh my gosh. Yo, Small Bags got big bags. Small Bags got the bag. That is what's up. That is what's up. The Rock opened the market this morning, hitting the bell with Netflix. Oh, dang. That should have been a sign right there. I'm going to be real. If The Rock opened up the bell this morning with Netflix, that should have been a sign right there. Monday, I got in. Bruh. Congratulations. Tesla. We didn't look at Tesla already? Lit Clips wants to look at Tesla, 1,200 each. Yo, tap in. I gotta tap in with you tomorrow. I just want to celebrate with you, bro. I love it. All right, we're looking at Tesla right now. This is the weekly chart. Tomorrow earnings, IBM, Tesla, ASML. That's what's up. Is CarWreck still in here? You remember all the Tesla splits? I don't know when the last time I charted Tesla was, but look at this area of support / resistance that I charted out on the daily chart. Yes, sir. Red cars in the building. Like Moby. I think the last time I charted Tesla was actually on a live. So this is the daily chart. Like I said, I do a rectangle, I do an area when I chart my support and resistance. When I chart my support and resistance. All right, so I'm just kind of bringing this in. And it looks like at one point back in February 2023, this area was a resistance area, came down, it shot through it, but then it came down and touched it, kind of came back in it. I see based off of this wedge. All right, so I got just based off of what I'm seeing right now, this is the daily chart for Tesla. Based off of this wedge or this broadening formation, which is the red line and the green line, as well as this area that I already charted to be an area of support, I can see this would be a good time, a good opportunity right now to get some long-term calls. I'm thinking long-term calls for Tesla based off of what I had already charted, where it's at the bottom of this wedge or this broadening formation. I would get calls that expire sometime in February, maybe going into March, something like that. That's what I think. But like I said, that's just me. You have to do your own kind of analysis. This is just what I'm looking at. But we are in this area that I had already spotted out some time ago as being a support area. And then look, we're bouncing right off of this green line, this wedge. So yeah, I will be looking to have some calls going out for some weeks. But EV has been getting bad rep. People are hesitant because Elon may be tanking Tesla. Let's see. ARK's Kathy Wood says interest rates in U.S. are going to fall sooner and faster as was suspected. Tesla enters bear market. Time to buy the dip ahead of Q4 earnings report. Lit Clip says they're in puts. I would say puts. I mean, if we look at this daily candlestick, that's very bearish momentum, some bearish buildup there. We're in full time frame continuity down to the downside, as we can see right here. So there's a case for some puts. There definitely is a case for puts. I think that I probably would do puts if we break the bottom of this little area right here. So if we break like below 204, I would get in some puts. He wants 25% of Tesla. Elon does? The news was saying Tesla cars died in the cold weather. Oh God, Jesus. But remember what they say: buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Funny, Tesla can touch 204 to 190. Right. 194. Yeah, right here. Right where this candle's at. You're exactly right. This is 194 right here. So maybe this would be even more of a safer bet for puts. I don't know. We're in this kind of support area that I had already marked out. We're at the bottom of this wedge, so it's a possible opportunity for it to bounce. But if we got all this bad news coming in, it could continue to put Stingray says, so buy calls. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just saying at first glance, based off this charting that I already did, I would initially be looking to get some calls. That's just me. That's what my initial thoughts would be, to look to get calls. But my calls would be out though. My calls would be like, if I could afford it, mid to late February going into March. The news was last week. So yeah, see, buy the rumor, sell the news. Elon gonna drive it down and buy it. Watch. Probably so. Red cars. Elon gonna drive it down and buy it. Yes, indeed. Yo, I can fix the situation. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Elon gonna drop Tesla stock. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's what he tweeted basically. Every earning for Tesla has been puts. Not everyone. So I feel like this is the first time we've been really, really split on a stock after all the stocks we've gone through today, from Chipotle to Apple to Meta to Carvana, Marvell. I feel like Tesla is the one that we've been evenly split. Elon is not stupid at all. You're exactly right, Red Cars. Elon is not stupid at all. Lit Clip says riot. I'm gonna start a riot. I'm gonna start a riot. So just to finish out on Tesla, like I said, I can't tell you what to do. I'll say that my initial thoughts when I first looked at this chart was to be looking to get calls that probably expired sometime at the end of February going into March. There is an opportunity that factors at play, Elon or whomever, may continue to push the stock down. But I'm thinking it probably won't go too much lower than that 194 area. Let me move this over so we can see it. There we go. So right, it's possible we could go. We could come down here. If we came down, if we were down here right now, I'll tell you this: if we were right here in the 194s right now, I would say nothing but calls. That's how I probably would say. So that's just my thoughts, but we might have some forces that push it down. So what are you guys' thoughts on Tesla tomorrow? Tomorrow? Thanks. Stingray, like, what are your thoughts for tomorrow? I need to know tomorrow. What's happening? I should have got puts when I saw his tweet. That's right, Midnight Poet. Stingray said, I need to know about tomorrow, not all this February March madness. Leo said pumps. We talk about pumps tomorrow? Are we pumping tomorrow? I don't know. I do not know. I haven't traded Tesla in such a long time. I should have gotten to Netflix calls. If I would have knew that The Rock was opening bell with Netflix and they had earnings today, that was obvious. That was obvious. They were telling us that was a sign. Tesla earnings is going crazy. Oh, earnings is tomorrow after hours. Earnings is tomorrow after hours. I don't know, man. It's just a lot. It's a lot to think about right now. It's a lot to think about. Oh man. It's a lot to think about, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I mean, it's been on this downtrend since it's been in a downtrend. I can't even see it. Damn. It's been in a downtrend since December. So almost a month now. It's been steadily going down. So it probably could. Don't care if I lose it. What are we talking about? No, I care if you lose it, Lit Clips. I care if you lose it. You don't have too much time. YOLO. I did lotto puts. I traded daily. Tesla's not trading normal. What are we saying? I care if Lit Clips loses it though. I care. I care if you lose it, Lit Clips. All right. All right. All right. I care if you lose it. All right. I know some other people were looking at they were talking about some other tickers in here. Somebody said riot. Lit Clips said riot. Lit Clips, I care if you lose it. Instagrams. Any other song requests? Do we got song requests? DraftKings is bullish. A quiet place for souls. All right. Let's look at Riot right quick. Why is Riot looking just like Tesla though? This looks like the Tesla chart kind of. We kind of. I've never looked at Riot before. This, excuse me. This is the daily chart. Man on a mission by Futuristic. All right, Man on a mission by Futuristic. Tesla, it was 154 in May. I think they will go down to have no problem moving back up. So are you thinking they're gonna drop after earnings? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. We've been pushing down. We've been pushing down since December. I'm trying to see if there's any gaps or anything like that that needs to happen. All right, all right. Oh, we were looking at Riot. Oops, hold on. All right, here we are looking at Riot. We are looking at Riot. Every earnings, it goes down. Under 200 this week. So somebody was asking for Riot. I think that was Rec Cars or Lit Clips was looking at Riot. I've never charted it. That's why there's nothing on this chart. This is the daily chart. I'm gonna just keep it simple without getting too crazy because this is supposed to be for the beginners, for the noobs out there. But I see like a support area right in here. All right. So it looks like back in September, my computer just froze up. I might have to restart I might have to restart the trading view. Oh, there it is. All right. So back in like September, going through October, there's this area of like consolidation, this range that we kind of stayed in for Riot. And then it finally broke out, gapped up a little bit. It broke out right after, not right after, but it broke out. And then now it's dropping all the way back down. So I would wait for Riot to come down a little bit more, if it will. I mean, it's only at $10.38. I would wait for Riot to come back down a little bit more before buying some calls. You could do some long calls, like some calls for March. Or you could do like, let's take a look at how we're looking like in a broadening formation or a wedge. Yeah, I will be thinking calls. I'm thinking calls on Riot long term. For me, I can't tell y'all what to do. I can't tell you what to do. I'm thinking long term calls for myself. Riot and Mara follow Bitcoin. Ah, I forgot about that. Yo, 0180 Crypto, thank you for the follow. Yariel Marilio, thanks for joining. What up? What up? L315, thanks for sharing the live, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm thinking calls for Riot. I'm thinking calls, but if they're following Bitcoin and Bitcoin has been pulling back, I think we're still expecting more retracement on Bitcoin. So you might want to wait until Riot drops down to this. What is this right here? I would wait. It looks like 875. So if Riot gets down to 875, I'd say like definitely get calls or buy into Riot. Netflix gains more than 13 million subscribers in the fourth quarter. Small bags. Did you make like 15K? I think you probably made like 15K in the morning. 30K, 50K. Small bags. All right. Yo, y'all, I appreciate every single one of you for making this the dopest, most lit live I've ever experienced. You're not going to get it for less than 550 or 575. No way, it just won't happen. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the Riot? Is that what you're talking about, Zara? I'm thinking Riot to come down to this like, what is this? 875. I think Riot is going to come down to 875. If Riot does go to 875, I will be buying it up. How low can BTC go before the halving? Oh man, I can't say that. I say 6. You think it's going to drop down to $6 is down here. You think Riot to come down here? This is the $6 range for Riot. I'm thinking Riot's going to come down here where the support has been at. I really, hey, like I said, I can't show y'all my appreciation enough. I'm going to go through the TikTok analytics and reach out to a couple of y'all. I say down there. So you think it'll come down to the $6 area and then shoot back up? It's possible. I don't know. I'm feeling like this area of support was pretty strong. It stayed in this area of support from September through October. Yo, Lit Clips, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the like, Lit Clips. I appreciate you. Lit Clips, thank you so much. Yo, Mexi. I don't do no Robins. There's a nice M on the chart, right? Yeah. That's a crazy double top if you could see that. Dang. Yeah, I think it's going to come down some more. I think so. I don't know if it's going to come all the way down to $6, but around 875, I will be looking to buy. It'll get nasty, I'm betting. Zara says it's going to get nasty. It might bounce, but I think it fails that lower high. That Riot. So is the general consensus for us right now is that Riot is going to continue to go down? Red Cars says yield. What is that? What are we talking about, Red Cars? Hey. Drop it off. Deposits. Balmain jeans. I don't rock no Robins. 875. I mean, it all depends on Bitcoin. That's very true, Mexi. That's very, very true. I was just reminded of that Riot and Mara does follow Bitcoin to a degree. They kind of trade like that. Red Cars. So is our general consensus that it's going to drop below 875? I just don't see no real reason for it to stop until 6. All right, let me put a line at 6. Let me see if I can see anything else. Stop being lazy right now. All right. Here's about the $6 area on Riot. Red Car says BTC chart. That T Grizzly. We gonna catch it? Are we catching it? The goal was to make 50 bands. I did that 2 times. Hey, yo, Connor, thanks for joining. That T Grizz. Hey. Wait, is that the right one? All right, Bitcoin on that drop down. All right, we're taking a quick look at Bitcoin right quick. Oh, we know, by the looks of this, I definitely feel like Bitcoin is still going to be dropping a little bit. It did have this, it came right. Look at this. That's crazy. Look at this. Y'all see this right here on Bitcoin? Look. Remember, for the new people, for all the beginners out there, support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. Let's take a look at this right quick. Hold on. I got to do all this crazy stuff right here for y'all to see it. Yo. All right, y'all, look at that. So like I said, if you're new to trading, write this down. Support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. And look what happened with Bitcoin. It had this resistance area back in November of 2023. It broke through the resistance. And then look where it came right back down to. That area of resistance became an area of support that it bounced right off of. Now, I still think it's going to still come down, though, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think it's still going to come down. That T Grizz is cold. With it, we going to catch him. Yeah, so I don't know the exact correlation. We know that Riot and Mara follow Bitcoin. But my thoughts are at a minimum, Riot will come down to 875. I'm just speaking for myself. I can't tell you what to do, not financial advice, but Riot will come down to 875. Now, I think it was, who was it that was saying? Somebody, oh, it was Zera saying that it was going to come down to the $6. They don't see any reason for why it just wouldn't come down to 6. There is somewhat of a level of support at that $6 range. If it falls through there, 6 for sure. I think so. If it breaks below 875, then we'll drop right down to 6. But like I said, I was seeing this strong area of support that happened. I mean, this area of like almost consolidation, this range that we stuck in, this range was from, it started September 20th and it stayed in this range until, depending on how you want to look at it, November. It stayed in here for about 2 months. I mean, it kind of broke out a little bit, but this range of like bouncing on top of 875, it did that for almost 2 months and then shot out of here. So I feel like that's a strong level of support in this area, in my opinion, for Riot. But this is why it's beautiful that we all share ideas for charting and trading and what we see and things like that. So, but like I said, y'all, you guys have made this the dopest live I've ever done yet. I appreciate everyone's energy, the comments, the engagement, people sharing what they know, their knowledge, their wisdom, answering questions. I feel like we really all gave each other value during this live. So this one is definitely one for the record books. I appreciate it. Elisa says, what do I think of NCL? We got NVBE. Midnight Poet, thank you for the live. SMCI set for a good put area. All right, let me take a look at a couple of these. All right, taking a quick look at SMCI. Oh, yeah. So this is SMCI on the daily chart. Looks like it has some, it had this strong shoot up before the earnings. I wonder what was that? Why did it shoot up like that before earnings? They got earnings on the 29th. Why would they have that crazy shoot up? Do we know what happened? And this appears to be all-time highs. This is all-time highs for SMCI. So I'm inclined to go with what AJ Total Package is talking about. It could be a good put area. It looks like it's experienced some resistance at this 457 area. And I'm trying to figure out why did it shoot up like this. I think puts might be the case for SMCI. It's only up from here. Is that right, Midnight Poet? Why is, I don't know. I really don't. Super microcomputer SMCI earnings expected to grow. Should you buy? Stock powers up 30% to record up on upbeat earnings look. Oh, man. It's a lot of sentiment right now saying that it's going to be earnings on the 29th. I was saying your lives are only up from here. Oh, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. 1000%, my guy. 1000%. Can you please break down? So Benz is saying, can you please break down your NZ? Is that Forex? I don't trade the Forex, bro. I wish I could. If that's a Forex, I can't break that down for you, man. I know a lot of the stuff when it comes to trading, the concepts are the same, candlestick patterns and things like that, but I don't do Forex, and I don't want to get into something that is not my lane, and I don't want to guide you in a way or give you any type of sentiment that isn't accurate because it's not my lane. I only want to speak on things that I do from experience. So I would hate to try to do something that is not what I do, bro. I wish I could speak to the Forex. People have been telling me to get into Forex for a long time. We hit 32,000, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you to my bro, the Midnight Poet. I'll be checking you out on checking out your TikTok, bro. So I don't know, man. We've got earnings coming up for SMCI. There's a lot of news and a lot of bullish sentiment, but you know, like they say, you gotta buy the rumor and sell the news. So if this news is coming out saying it's gonna be grow, 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 I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks like there was a gap down that happened that finally got filled, but I'm wondering what caused this shoot up in the stock. So we'll see. We will see. All right, somebody was talking about Matt Shields. Matt Shields, I don't know if you're still in here. NVVE. What's NVVE? Tupac, Tupac, Tupac. New Holding Corp. I think I charted this a long time ago. Oh, yikes. Yeah. I don't think they have any choice but to go up. That's all I can say. Bro, they're down here. Like, I don't think NVVE has any choice but to go up. Futures are fire. Still here. Yo, Matt. NVVE, ticker symbol Nate, Victor, Edward, NVVE. They have no choice but to go at this stage, bro. That's all I can say. Like, if it goes down, it's just gonna go to zero. I mean, it's at 552. Let me not speak so blunt, but NVVE is at 552 a share. It's they've got earnings coming up. Oh, that's in March. Yeah, man, I don't know because it's pretty much almost becoming a penny stock now. And look at this chart. So it's below its when did that IPO? It looks like it's below its IPO. Its IPO is right here. We're way down. So in this case, Matt, we're talking about trading? Or are we talking about long-term investing? Because this stock is so low and it's way below what I think is its IPO, if I'm looking at this chart correctly, I would need to really start getting into fundamental analysis. Even if I just wanted to trade it, I need to figure out why this stock is being so beat up and why is it down here? Is it an energy stock? I'm not that familiar with it. It says producer manufacturing electrical products. It's a part of the NASDAQ. Gonna rev split. Still here. Red Cars, are you saying NVVE is gonna reverse split? Is that what the split specialist is saying? Yo, Leslie John, thanks for joining. Sean Russell, thanks for joining. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Eric Hopkins, yo, what's going on? LOL. Rec Cars, what are you talking about? What are we saying on this right quick? What are we saying? It's got a reverse split or what? But yeah, even just from this how raw this chart looks and how beat up it is, I would think that I would just need to do some fundamental analysis as to why the company just getting so thrashed. All right. Molly. Yo. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. I gotta wrap it up. I got things I gotta do in the morning for the 9 to 5 gig. Thank every single person that has made this the most memorable live that I've ever had. Wreck Cars, Small Bags, the Midnight Poet, my boy Dream Goals, everybody who asked questions. My bad if I didn't get to you. Lit Clips, everybody in here. Mexi, thank you. I appreciate anybody who left a comment, who shared information, who helped out other people. Everybody in here. I tried to get to as many comments and respond to everybody, but my bad if I missed you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Some, what you mean? The Midnight Poet says no, bro, no problem. Oh, he's like, nah, you can't get off the live. You sold your soul to the TikTok live, and you're on here. But I'm out. Trump pump. Get up early. All right, y'all. I'll hit y'all in the morning. I'll see if I could do live when the market opens up. No guarantees, but I'm gonna try it. All right, everybody, be safe. Have a good night. Get some good rest. I'll tap in with y'all soon. There's no way. There's no way.